At least 48 lives, forced thousands from their homes. The runway collision of a Japan Airlines jet and a Japanese Coast Guard plane in Tokyo reportedly left 5 Coast Guard crew members dead. Ukraine's 2 largest cities have been hit by Russian hypersonic missiles and drones.
Emergency workers were seen rescuing a person from the wreckage of a building in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv after the city was struck by Russian missiles. In Kyiv, 5 areas of the city were hit in the strikes, and at least a dozen people were injured, according to Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. The governor of the Kharkiv region said at least 1 person died and dozens were injured in Russian missile strikes that hit the center of Kharkiv city and other areas. The barrage of the cities continued Russia's escalated attacks on Ukraine in recent days. That began on Friday with its largest single attack since the war started. I'm Karen Shamas.
Iowa's the focus of most Republican presidential candidates as the 2024 primary season gets ready to kick off.
Ron DeSantis spent the week between Christmas and New Year's Day campaigning in Iowa, and the Florida governor has an unrelenting schedule ahead of him there this week, with the Iowa caucuses just under 2 weeks away. And he's not the only one. Former President Trump plans his own blitz over the final 2 weeks, including in deeply conservative northwest Iowa. Nikki Haley made stops in eastern Iowa late last week, while Vivek Ramaswamy also has stormed the state. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A new AP NORC poll puts immigration and foreign policy at the top of the list of voter concerns heading into 2024. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow futures down 239 points, NASDAQ futures off 181. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Progressive asks, what do a slow Friday night, bored teenage boys,
I'm bored,
a pack of fireworks,
this is gonna be awesome,
and a teetering branch suspended over your car have in common?
look out!
They can quickly wreak havoc on your slow Friday night.
Uh-oh.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Seth Holthouse brings hope and insight as he fights against socialism and communism on the Man in America podcast, now available on the Salem Podcast Network.
The role of the digital world in shaping our perception of the real world cannot be overlooked. It seems like all of these mechanisms are dividing us in endless ways.
Subscribe to Man in America today on Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Somalia has recalled its ambassador to Ethiopia over a controversial agreement granting Ethiopia access to a seaport in the self-declared Republic of Somaliland.
The government in Mogadishu said it was appealing to international bodies, including the United Nations and the African Union, to stand with Somalia. The government said it strongly rejected this agreement, which it described as an act of naked aggression that violated its sovereignty and territorial integrity. But the Somali government also called on the public to stay calm. Somaliland has been seeking full statehood since claiming independence from Somalia in 1991. A move that has been fiercely opposed by Mogadishu and not recognized internationally.
The BBC's Richard Hamilton. Thailand and China will soon implement a visa-free entry for each other's citizens. News and analysis, townhall.com. At Brooklyn's Coney Island, organizers say thousands signed up to take the plunge, the 121st annual polar plunge into the chilly Atlantic.
The beach is packed, the water a frigid 45 degrees, give or take. The one saving grace, the sun has been poking out of the clouds. Having gone in myself, I can tell you this is a freezing but refreshing and fun event. Mika Galinosa says it's her first time taking the plunge.
It was so fun, so refreshing. Everyone here is in such a good mood. What a great way to kick off the year.
This polar plunge, like many around the country, is also a fundraiser for a few charitable causes. On Coney Island, I'm Julie Walker.
The Nordic countries, Sweden and Finland among them, are in the grip of a punishing cold snap. The mercury plunging to 40 degrees below zero, a reminder that spring is a long way off. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tablet said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy New Year, everybody.
2024, everybody.
That's right. Happy 2024.
Matter of fact, let me
You change your Christmas. Yeah, we gotta move that. That's old. Merry New Year. There you go. Look at that. Changing the sign. So, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2024, our first show of the brand new year.
Yes, and my first time back in over a week.
That's right. He was on family vacation.
On assignment.
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned Oklahoma family Christmas.
Good deal.
How was your holiday?
Good. How about yours?
It was eventful.
Good. I guess.
The stuff that I will talk about on the radio is basically, as we were all kind of settling down, dinner was basically ready, the rolls were in the oven, and the power went out.
Oh.
For a 3.5 hour community-wide power outage.
But you had rolls.
We did not have rolls. They were only half-baked. We had the rest of everything. And so we were like, okay, so... Well, here's the beauty of it. We lived out in, or my sister lives out in kind of the middle of nowhere where everybody out there is like a hunter or, they do a lot of outdoor stuff.
Self-sufficient.
So as I walked outside and I was like, well, they have power. And then you stop and you listen for a second. You just hear just a hum of generators all around you. So, of course, Tommy rolls his generator out. We get that fired up. It was an interesting few hours because it was like, minimal power. It was like, don't use anything. We don't have to. Even their water's on power because it's well drawn, so you gotta.
Okay.
So like nobody flushed the toilets. It was a real Oklahoma family Christmas. Dinner by candlelight.
Well, hopefully the power is restored relatively.
Mm-hmm. It was about 3.5 hours.
Was it a storm or something? Or
no, it was just, they said there was equipment that needed repair. I guess they chose Christmas night to do it.
Something blue.
No, we don't need power on Christmas night. I was acting on the mindset of 100 bad days make 100 good stories. Because the whole family won't forget the time we all sat around and had Christmas dinner in the dark.
Doughy rolls.
Or by candlelight. And yes, doughy rolls, which we actually got those finally done, but about 20 minutes after dinner.
Oh, well.
Then we just had the rolls course.
Post-dinner rolls.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all do like a turkey or something or ham?
We did turkey. Actually, my brother-in-law spatchcocked the turkey.
Oh, how'd that turn out?
It was amazing. Which, if you have the time and the energy with which to do it, I recommend spatchcocking your turkey. If for no other reason than it's fun to say.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you got to butterfly it and cook it out there.
Cut out the spinal. It's basically the most violent way to be a carnivore.
Although I think I got a knife to do that now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like during the Christmas, and I think it was actually ordered pre-Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
My sister-in-law or my mother-in-law, I'm not sure which. I think it was my sister-in-law, found these knives that are like hand-forged jobbers that are these. It's really a nice knife,
forged in fire,
and it's an intimidating knife. Like it looks.
Does it have like teeth on the back?
It's like cleaver-like.
Oh, okay.
So it's got that, anybody saw a Tom and Jerry cartoon growing up, kind of, knows that. But yeah, it's that way. And I haven't had a chance to slice anything with it, but I'm pretty sure it's so if I need a spatchcocked turkey,
I've got a knife with which to spatchcock.
I've got a knife that will handle the job.
I've always loved how in cartoons growing up that hatchet had a hole in the back, and I always wondered what's the hole in the back for. And the only thing my brain could ever put together was, oh, it's for your keys. It's a keychain loop, so you can carry your hatchet on your keychain. Because for some reason, my kid brain, that made a lot of sense to me.
I feel like it's to hang it on.
Yeah,
on
pretty much what it is. But
other knives.
In my head, I'm like, oh, it's a belt loop. Okay.
He has a generation of janitors and they all have 37 keys.
Oh,
so.
I always wanted that giant ring of keys. Feels like that always felt super important.
It does feel like you have access to a lot of things when you got a ring of keys with 150 keys in it.
That, and I always wanted to open a key lock with one of those old school keys with like the 2 teeth.
Oh yes.
You know, like when you ask a kid to draw a key.
Yeah.
That kind of key.
Yeah.
You know, I'm well past that generation, but I just wanted to see what it was like to open a lock with
the skeleton key. That accesses every lock known to man.
Or like every little girl's diary growing up had one of those little, little long skeleton key things.
Skate key.
Yeah,
even older folks. But Happy New Year.
Yes.
Hope all of you are having a delightful 2024 so far.
Indeed.
Had a good weekend. And did you do anything exciting for the New Year's?
Just got together with some friends. We were going to play a game. Didn't end up doing that. But we actually ended up, this is a sign that we're old. We, at the party, ended up celebrating New York's New Year.
Ah, nice.
Yes, we popped the bottle at 10 o'clock, had a toast, kind of sat around and hung out for a little bit. And we wrapped up about 10:45.
Okay. Yeah, we went over to friends, and we didn't stay up till midnight. Well, we stayed up till midnight, but we didn't stay at the place till midnight. We stayed till about 10:30, 11, then we went home. Friday night, we went out to Radio Razzle Dazzle at the Liberty. That was a good time.
Good crowd?
Good crowd.
Awesome.
Good dinner, good show. Everything was fun. Had a fun night out there with and for those that didn't get a chance to go, hopefully got to listen to it on the radio. I heard it sounded really good on the radio. I was there. I didn't hear it, but I definitely want to check out the tape on that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. Had a good time on that, and yeah, had a good weekend overall.
I like that was presented as a radio play as well. That it's also presented with theater of the mind involved, so that it could play on the radio.
Yeah. Now you missed some of the jokes,
sure,
because there's some visual, but not. I mean, you catch the whole play, but like there's things that are intentionally wrong that if you don't see it, you're like, are they supposed to do it that way, or you know what I mean?
Right.
But like if you're watching, you're seeing like the crowd, like the characters going, kind of looking like, what are we doing? What's that? I don't know. But you miss that part on the radio. But because everything is it's scripted but winged, if that makes sense. It's designed to go wrong. So, but it was a fun play, and they did an amazing job. The cast did, and I had a good time. Had a good time, and they did an amazing job putting it on. So it was a fun Friday night. So I had a good time there. We'll have to throughout the show talk a little bit more about stuff. We do have a guest this hour.
Yes,
we're going to replay interviews the next two, so we'll have a chance to chit chat a little bit about some of our.
I forgot to grab it, but I did bring a little treat back with me from Oklahoma.
A food treat or a Oklahoma?
Not an Oklahoma food treat, but just something I saw.
Okay.
And I was like, this feels like it's got morning show written all over it.
It's either a weird soda or a weird something.
I got one of those too. If you want, we can make this a multi-course thing. Don't push me, buddy.
Yeah.
I've gone for a weekend. They locked my chair. Sheesh.
Yes. They just don't.
My pile of papers was moved from here to here. I was incensed.
I don't even think I walked in that room all week last week.
No?
No, I did not.
Well, we had the cleaner over the weekend, so it was. If you had, I wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah, I have not been in that room all week. I'm literally here or there.
Nice.
But let me give you the rundown for today's show. Robert Sherman with the Walker Aviation Museum will join us here in just a few minutes. our first guest of 2024.
Ooh, look at that.
Hey, look at that. So we'll get an update what's happening from Robert. We're going to replay our interview from Thursday with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society. She talks a little bit about the New Year's hours, but mostly just pets for adoption, and they are now getting the roof done, so they need money to help pay for that. So we talk a little bit about that. And then on Friday, Amy McVeigh-Tay has joined us for just kind of recapping and talking about the 2024 here, and we'll play that for you here about 9:15. So, and of course, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local, national varieties, your Wall Street business update, whatever else we can come up with.
A remarkable lack of ads.
Yes,
Enjoy it.
It is the season of
yes,
that.
It is.
That's right.
I was looking at the countryside of things. Like, what happened? Oh, January. Right. It's January. Good to be back, Amelka.
New Year. Things kind of slow for a couple days.
That's fine. We'll ease into it.
There you go. Dab a toe. All right. It is 7:16. Let's get you up to date on the weather. There is chances of rain kind of sprinkled in throughout the week. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few rain or snow showers today. We have a little low pressure system working its way through our area. Low 50s on the afternoon high, and then tonight things clear up. Our overnight low pretty cold in the upper 20s. We'll be getting plenty of sunshine on Wednesday with our afternoon high hitting the mid 50s, and then maybe a few more rain showers coming up on Thursday, 55. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 35 degrees here in Roswell. Mostly cloudy out there. Humidity is at 72% with winds out of the north at 3 miles per hour. They're telling us we have a 20% chance at some rain showers this morning till about 11 a.m. today. Clouds will linger through mid-morning, then gradually clear. Highs expected to reach 52 today with winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 25 degrees, northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, sunny skies, 57 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, increasing clouds with an overnight low of 31 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10. For you Thursday, looks like rain chance, 20%. Partly cloudy, 51 for a high. I know some people are getting snow, but it looks like we're just too warm for that. So if we get any of that moisture, it'll be in the form of rain. Partly cloudy, 51 on Thursday. Winds out of the south, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 30. Friday, sunny skies with a high near 50. And then looking at your weekend, sunny, 51 for Saturday. Mostly sunny, 56 for Sunday. They're talking rain chances Sunday night, 30%, and then 30% on Monday as well. So we'll see how that all shapes up. All right, it is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to take a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then Robert Sherman will join us with the Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Knowledge is the power to see more, do more, and be more. As one of the most affordable universities in the Southwest, Eastern New Mexico University has helped thousands of people like you earn a degree. Spring 2024 at ENMU is the perfect time to get started with affordable tuition, great scholarships, and a wide range of in-person or online classes. Learn your power. Apply today for spring 2024 at enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
The Fergalicious boys can keep you hot this winter. Fergalicious. Oh yeah, it's getting cold out there, and Fergus Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep things hot in your home. They can come by and winterize your pipes and check your insulation, and you know they'll do it with nothing but love. Oh yeah, baby. Call the Fergalicious boys at Fergus Plumbing and Heating at 622-2660. When you need it hot, Fergie's is on the job.
Fergalicious. The need to grow past our basic capabilities and experience the impossible will forever keep aviation technology evolving. Within the Aviation Maintenance Technology program at ENMU Roswell, students thrive knowing that the faculty and community are supporting their success. ENMU Roswell is dedicated to empowering students through hands-on skills training in a nurturing environment. To learn more, contact us today.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Robert Sherman, back with us from the Walker Aviation Museum. Good morning. How are you doing today? Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Good to be here.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
How was your New Year's weekend? Did you do anything exciting?
Yeah. It was kind of quiet. It was okay. Yeah.
Good.
I had fun.
Quiet New Year's, a good New Year's to me.
I had good Christmas. Went over to, we had a little neighborhood get together for food. So we have a neighbor across the street that loves to cook. So, and his wife's a really good cook. So.
Nice. And you're like, I love to eat. It was a match made in
I took
heaven.
the hard part. I just took the tea and the cranberry juice. And
all right. He's like, I'm in charge of beverages.
Yeah, right.
Well, good. Excellent. Well, sounds like you had a good time.
Today we've got some new things we'll talk about going on at the museum, a few new personnel issues, and the history lesson for today is on a B-36. And I timed myself last night, and it's about 8 minutes of history that we'll get in here before we finish up today. So
perfect. For folks that aren't familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum is located inside the air terminal at the airport there, and it is a museum that is dedicated to the history of the Air Force Base that once called that part of town home, originally Roswell Army Airfield, and then Walker Air Force Base. And the museum kind of talks, kind of celebrates that period of our history. Also, during the Cold War, this area served as a home for those especially those early generation intercontinental ballistic missiles, and so we kind of talk about the history of that a little bit too at the Walker.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I mentioned that you get visitors coming in from the East Coast or all over, first time in Roswell, and you mentioned the Cold War, and you mentioned the fact that, for example, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, we had B-52 bombers, with atomic weapons, and we had 12 Atlas missiles surrounding Roswell with warheads that were 130 times the size of Hiroshima's bombs.
That's right.
Yeah, so you can't think about it. There's a lot of bombs sitting right outside our city limits.
That's a lot of hardware in our neighborhood, yeah.
So we were, I tell you, a primary target. The Russians knew exactly where Roswell was. And I just mentioned to them that, if you were drive up the north part of town and drive by and see Goddard High School, I said, you see it looks kind of like a normal school, but what you're seeing is the gymnasium areas or the administrative areas. But if you go to the classrooms, you go in and you go down 2 pretty long flights of stairs, and you're totally underground.
Yeah. And
they go, seriously? And I said, yeah, that was...
For that purpose.
That was built just about when everything was, about in the 1965, 66 time frame. So
my high school that I graduated from was also built in the 60s around that time frame, and same thing, designed the same way where, you had stuff above ground, but a lot was underground in classrooms, and it was for the very same reason that when you talk about Goddard High, same reason.
Yeah, so they kind of like brings home to them, like, you can say, we were key base, but then you actually see where, when they were building structures, like the high school, you actually built it underground had decontamination showers built in there and everything. That's all locked up now. But yeah.
But that was for that purpose.
Right.
If things went south.
Yeah. So I graduated from Roswell High School. I said, okay, so that means at Roswell High School, sorry.
That's right. It's like, you need to get out on that end. But
yeah.
But that's always a unique part of history. But of course, that's kind of where Walker Aviation Museum, it kind of celebrates some of that history. And then the people, really the big part is the people that called that base home and that area home. It's at a certain, certain times in their lives.
You could live anywhere in Roswell. You could walk outside or you out in the backyard working or front yard doing your yard. And it was definitely look up in the sky and hear the noise of the bombers flying around and taking off and stuff. It definitely knew you were in a place where there was a lot of aircraft.
I think people that live base life or near bases, that was just something.
My wife, we lived 30 years. She was married and we were 28 years married in the air. She was in the Air Force. I was 30 years, but so she got drug around and as she called it, and a lot of people call it, the sound of freedom. She misses hearing those airplanes flying around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was at Holloman, I could still hear at 2 a.m. they're running engines and
Yeah. Well, at Beale Air Force Base, the SR-71s would take off with those big afterburners with the flame coming out about 30 feet behind each engine, and they kind of go rattling over your house as it climbs out to get refueled at 26,000, so it could go ahead and go. It didn't ever take off with full, fuel load, but it would take off and then immediately kind of refuel at 26,000 feet, and then go to afterburners and take off and start flying at 200 feet per second faster than a 30-06 bullet coming out of the muzzle.
It's pretty impressive. I'm going to get off topic just for a second, but I watched a video clip over the weekend where it was Navy, and the Navy guys were on the aircraft carrier out to sea, and the F-18s were doing sound barrier flybys of the aircraft carrier.
Oh, really?
And that was wild to watch as the guys are on the deck there just watching this F-18. You see it go right where it goes to pop the sound barrier, just, and then of course the sound and everything. It was really cool. But that's that. If you ever get a chance to see that, that's a cool military or any of that. Anytime planes popping off the sound barrier and all that, it's pretty cool. But anyway, sorry I got sidetracked.
No, that's right. I didn't realize there's about 33 pages. I know Wikipedia isn't always accurate totally, supposedly, but it's pretty good starting point. But I got several from different sources, but there was some interesting political stuff going on in the Cold War with the B-36 bomber and the building of large aircraft carriers. I'll get into that here in a minute.
Okay.
So.
Well, good deal. Well, let's before we let's just kind of talk a little bit about some of the changes you guys, some personnel. And
we've got
talk a little bit about what the museum's got going on right now.
Yeah, we got AJ Olivas is currently a security guard at the air terminal.
Okay,
and he works daytimes, I think Friday, Saturday, and he works nights Sunday, Monday.
Okay,
and he said he'd kind of like to come out, and he likes history, and he's going to be one of our probably host out at the museum, maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday days.
Do some docent work out there?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. And we recently lost good old Ted. Ted was dealing with some issues with family and stuff. But he was a really good addition and big history buff. And I was alazed every time I got around him. He was telling me all this stuff that I thought I knew a lot of stuff, but he kind of threw out a lot of facts. I was like, wait a minute, let me take notes here.
Yeah. Well, Ted's military service, he saw a lot of things, so he was plugged in pretty well.
Yeah, and he was in, security and intelligence.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff where you ask him what he did, he'd say, well, I'd tell you, but I have to kill you.
Yeah, most of us are like, our hard day was turning wrenches, and he was
True. Yeah, we had, maybe we're going to get, maybe Allie Bishop and maybe Peggy Donnell might come out one day at the museums, give Bob Donnell and myself a break. All right. And as well as AJ Olivas, maybe in the February time frame. So
Okay.
start
And they're
that.
always looking for more volunteers if there's folks looking to get involved.
Yeah.
Obviously, mostly we think of retirees and things that have a little more free time on their hands, but
Right.
But whoever has the time and desire to do it, we'd love to have you come out and be a part of it. All volunteer work. You meet some great people. If you're a people person and love to talk to people, then you might find this volunteer gig pretty fun because you get a chance to meet a lot of people, and you always hear cool stories because, especially in the summer months, you get a lot of people on vacation. They'll come to visit, like family and things, where maybe a family member served or their grandparents served here, or maybe they were here when they were little kids. And so you really get some great stories, and usually our docents are the first line that hear those and get to find out about those little nuggets of wisdom. So,
before we get much further, just a couple of things we just usually cover every time we have a get together, and that's again thank you some of the people that keep our doors open, and Pioneer Bank and Featherstone Development Corp. and Glenn's Furniture is giving us some stuff. We have some large desks and stuff and chairs. 6th Bomb Wing Union Group gave some money. David Petroleum. General Murray that used to be here, he sent us a little bit of his loose change.
Yeah.
No, that's good. But anyway, XL Energy, we got our flight simulators from them, and Roswell Toyota, Aircell used to be a big supporter, and other individuals like Phil Cathy and Dr. Engstrom and Lloyd Hughes and other folks out there. So we just appreciate any help that we can get.
Absolutely.
And another thing, I just might mention who our current board members are. Like, there's myself. I'm just, I'm the secretary nowadays. Allie Bishop is the treasurer. Katie Yates, Sandy Correa. Hope I pronounced her last name right. She's going to hit me. She's the president up until September.
Okay.
Well, starting until next September. Bob Donnell and Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Cloffer, Friar Jorik Nowaki, our priest, Catholic priest.
He's an awesome guy.
He's a cool guy. Stephen Miller.
All of them are, but he's just one of those bubbly people that you can't help but like the first time you meet him, you get infectiously.
Doug Weiser, the manager for Cattle Baron. He's going to be our president coming up coming September.
Okay.
Peggy Bolin, and we miss Doug Murray. But he still kind of stays connected.
Kind of emeritus.
And our new advisory board member is Josh Bookson. Bootson.
Okay.
I bet I got that right. He's going to hit me. I think it's Bookson.
And he's a newest member of the board.
Yeah, he's on the advisory board. He works out at the Mexico Job Corps type stuff.
Okay.
Not Job Corps, but out there at the college, and he's been very helpful and really nice guy. So anyway, we just got a bunch of fun folks. So if you're thinking about you'd like to join us and be part of our group, we're really open for that.
Absolutely. It's a really fun. It's a fun opportunity to serve because you see some really cool stuff. You meet some great people, and really is just it is making connections with people, and that's a really cool.
One of the things that is like we mentioned to people when they come out. I don't know if I'd say half of our mission, but a large part of our mission is working with kids and with careers and what they're going to do. So you have kids sitting around this week, don't have to go to school until next week. So I could recommend if they got a cell phone or an iPhone, they could steal one from your mom or something, or a computer. If they go to our website, WAFB Museum, Walker Air Force Base, WAFB Museum.org.
Yeah.
And if you touch on the education little area at the top, you can hit see little horizontal lines. You touch that and it'll open up and you say, touch the education part. And what you'll get is several things. One is when you hit that, you'll see what the program we have out there where we can bring ideally only 8 kids at a time, where we can put 4 on the flight simulators for about an hour.
Okay.
And the other 4, we show them about 13 or 14 different careers off of YouTube. However, as you go down there, you'll see some of those titles of the YouTubes that we show for careers, and on an iPhone, all you have to do is touch that, and it'll play that video for you.
Okay.
So you can kind of play all the career stuff that we're going to show you right then.
Yeah.
And also, if you keep scrolling on down, you'll get past a list of YouTube career stuff that we've listed that we don't use, but it's there. It's interesting. And it's a list of YouTube aircraft videos. Then you run into an area that talks about pilot training. And it's a ground school, and there's 38 videos of professional pilot training. That's a total of 12 hours of training.
Wow.
And I guarantee you, if you watched all those and you went out and wanted to become a pilot or something, you've got a jump start on a lot of things because it's some pretty detailed stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, really good professional. Then if you kind of scroll on down on the computer, it's at the top. On the iPhone, these 3 photos of Bob Donnell out there with the kids, 3 color photos. Right above those 3 color photos is a little area that talks about STEM education.
Okay. So
it says comprehensive list of STEM jobs. You touch that, and you go to a website, Occupational Network Online. It's onetonline.org, which you can actually go just search for yourself.
Okay.
onetonline.org. onetonline.org.
Okay.
Anyway, when you touch that on those where those photos are, you get 331 science, technology, engineering, or math type careers that pop up. They're all listed alphabetically, and you just touch it, and you get pages and pages of information and stuff on the skills you need, the job activities that you'll be doing, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or if you just go straight to that website by itself, it lists 1,040 different jobs.
Wow.
And you just type in a job that you're interested in, and it'll either come up with that job or jobs that are very near what you typed in.
Okay.
And I believe the high schools here in Roswell use that website. But it's a really good website to kind of help you find out what you might want to do. You put in your zip code, it'll tell you where you can get training, and I think it talks about salaries and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, a lot of good stuff.
So if you're, kind of thinking about it, and or if you just like, hey, I'd love to do that, what does it involve? You can kind of get your feet wet, start there, and decide, hey, if this is what you want to do, and start the path to that, or, okay, that wasn't what I thought it was. Let me think about something else. So it really lets you get your feet wet and see if you're into it without full on committing to the path a little bit here.
And that's something nice because people coming through our museum, we tell them about that. We give them a little business card that's got those, websites on there, and they're going back to Connecticut or going to Iowa or whatever. They can give it to their grandkids and they can look it up.
Well, even for folks that maybe you're not in high school anymore, you're a established
thinking,
adult individual.
I think I need a change in jobs.
Or they just said, I've always wanted to learn to fly as a hobby or pastime.
Speaking of that, did you hear that on the news last night? They were saying, which is a little ways off, but by 2045, they're going to need 127,000 more pilots than they have today.
Wow. Well, you look at the COVID world.
Because some of them will be retiring, of course. But.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. You look at the air industry world, and we talk, in the holidays and the delays and everything that's going on. And the major problem is they're all short staffed. They don't have the personnel and it's all levels. It's at the airline level to the stewards and stewardesses, to your pilots, to your air traffic controllers, to your maintainers of these various aircraft and things. They're across the board having less people do that. COVID kind of was that thing where the people that have been doing it for years kind of said, I'm just going to retire.
Right.
And so they lost that pool of people. They didn't come back. And so now they're trying to scramble to get new people in the industry. And you're seeing what's going on is they're trying to play catch up here.
So one of the reasons where we don't have a flight going to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because, you have limited staff. And, before COVID, if everybody's remember, we had a flight, going to Phoenix. We had them going to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And they were on the verge of maybe looking at United coming in to have a flight going to Denver. So now we're back to, one flight coming in from Dallas, pretty late at night.
Sure.
And then that plane stays here and it leaves early in the morning. So and then you have a flight coming in around noon.
We're just here to park the plane every day, basically.
Yeah. So you have 2 flights going out of here to Dallas. So,
but that's the industry. So if there's young people looking for that that place where they fit in, or something that's interesting that they could? And here's the beauty of it: is guess what? Every place on the planet needs that line of work. So.
Yeah.
So, if you want to be here, you can be here. But
or an aircraft mechanic.
Yeah, or if life takes you other places, as I know what happens, you meet your significant others, and it takes you around a different world. How do you think I ended up in New Mexico?
Right.
I met my wife, but that's that this is career type stuff that wherever
that's
life
why my wife's
takes
in
you,
New Mexico. She met me.
yeah. But wherever life takes you, these are things that will help you, do well wherever you go. So please, and you could get halfway towards a pilot license without spending a dime, and it's all going through the Walker Aviation Museum. So
right.
Please research some of the stuff that we're talking about here.
So right quick, I'll just run through a quick thing on a B-36 bomber.
Yes, 8 minutes.
Something like that. Anyway. 6 bomb wing medium was activated at Walker on 2 January 1951, and the bomber squadrons included the 24th, 39th, and 40th bomb squadrons.
Okay.
Initially had B-29s and then B-50s, or just modified B-29s. Later in 1952, the wing was changed to the 6th Bombardment Wing Heavy when the new heavy bomber, the Convair B-36D Peacemaker, replaced the B-29s.
Okay.
And Convair was initially the Consolidated Vultee Aircraft Corporation, but also they built B-24s, which caused kind of a slowdown in the B-36. And this is what'll surprise a lot of people. The B-36 initial design and development started in early 1941, prior to the U.S. being in World War II.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then people say, well, why was that? And the threat existed at that time that Britain might fall to the German Blitz, and they would need a bomber that could bomb Germany from North America in return. And this would be possible if you had a bomber that with a combat range of at least 5,700 miles to fly from Gander, Newfoundland, for example, to Berlin and come back.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, initial requirements turned out to be totally unrealistic, so the final requirements for the B-36 was the following: maximum ferry range of 10,000 miles, effective combat radius of 4,000 miles, at least a 10,000-pound bomb load, cruising speed of 240, 300 miles an hour, surface ceiling 40,000 feet above Nazis' anti-aircraft guns, except for their rarely deployed 128 millimeter. But later, the Pacific War progressed, and the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army Air Force, increasingly thought they, at that time didn't have, Tinian and all those other islands.
Mm-hmm.
They might have to fly bombing missions out of Hawaii, so they needed a long range. Okay, the U.S. Army Air Force submitted a letter of intent to Convair, ordering an initial production of 100 B-36s before the testing of the prototypes were actually completed. And the first delivery was to be in August of 1945 and the last in October 46. Delivery was delayed when they moved, Convair moved from San Diego, California to Fort Worth, and that slowed things up by 120 days. When the Cold War beginning in earnest with the Berlin airlift and 1949 atmospheric test, first test of the Soviets setting off their atomic bombs, American military planners sought bombers capable of delivering very large, heavy, first-generation atomic bombs. They were pretty big and compared to today's, where
sure
you can see the Minuteman missiles, little bombs that look like you could put in the trunk of your car. And just
right,
drive
yeah,
off.
you could pack a punch. Well, and you mentioned something earlier. You were talking like some of those jets, and they had 10,000 pounds of ordnance on it. And I'm like, if you think about it, for them that's a lot.
Yeah.
But in the big scope of things, to have that much plane to only carry 10,000 pounds, or just by comparison, an F-117. That's the one I worked on, so I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about it. But that has 2 bomb bays. It can carry 4,000 pounds of ordnance.
Wow.
That's that little plane.
That
and
little
that's
plane,
almost
4,000.
half of that ordnance that other plane could carry.
I know.
It's just to put things in perspective for folks on how different it is night and day now. So
Yeah. But that was what they designed. But when the B-36 could actually carry, I'll show here in a minute, was considerably more. So B-36 was the only American aircraft capable of attacking the Soviet Union from bases in the United States with the very large, heavy initial atomic bombs. Okay. And the first generation Mark 17 hydrogen bombs, which were 25 feet long, 5 feet in diameter initially, and weighed 42,000 pounds.
Jeez, you need the whole plane. You need to build the plane around that thing.
That's right. So defensive armament consisted of 6 remotely controlled 20-millimeter guns and a fixed tail and nose turrets of the same caliber. And the vibration when they fired those guns caused vacuum tube electronics to malfunction, and also caused all kinds of other problems with the aircraft.
Man.
So later on, the newer B-36s were limited only to a tail gun turret, similar reduction, like the silver plate B-29s, which were modified for dropping the atomic bomb in Japan. They just had a tail gun.
Okay.
During the development in 1947, there was a battle over funding. This is interesting, which was won by the Air Force to keep the B-36, causing the Navy to lose funding for a supercarrier to be named the United States. This was in 1947. In 1949. And then it became known as the Revolt of the Admirals when Admiral Denfeld, Chief of Naval Operations, was fired. However, the congressional media furor over Denfeld's firing and successful use of aircraft carriers during the Korean War resulted in the Truman administration firing Secretary of Defense Johnson and Secretary of the Navy Matthews and building the Forstall class carriers, which were similar to what the United States was going to be, carrier, and eliminating the fight between the B-36 and larger aircraft carriers. So they said, okay, we'll build the carriers and the B-36.
Gotcha.
The B-36 station in Walker was here from 1952 to 1958. And I can remember that because came here when I was 9 years old and left when I was 15 years old. I could watch it flying around. Basic description and measurements of the B-36, 15 crew members, later 13. Wingspan of 230 feet, almost the length of a football field.
Wow, that thing's big.
Length of the aircraft, 162 feet. Maximum takeoff weight, 410,000 pounds. A little heavier than your stealth fighter.
Yeah.
Cruising speed, 230 miles an hour. Max speed, 435. Service ceiling, about 43,600 feet. And some of the later models could get up to 48 to 50,000 feet. Combat radius, 3,985 miles. But it could ferry 10,000 miles. And it could fly for 40 straight hours. They had actually an area the crew could go back and rest and eat and stuff like that.
Right.
Not necessarily a Luby's cafeteria, but...
Right.
Yeah, right.
But that was pretty luxurious amenities for the time.
Yeah, and an initial bomb load now on the B-36 was 72 to 86,000 pounds.
See, that's a big difference.
That's 4 times as much as a B-29.
Yeah.
I think it's like 10 times what a B-17. Anyway, engines often caused crews with 2 to 3 out of the 4 propeller engines running. It had 6 propeller engine, where it was those pusher.
Right.
Yeah, they had 6 28-cylinder radial engines and 4 rows, 3 blades, and the blades were 19 feet in diameter from the top to bottom. And that caused some vibration. 3,800 horsepower each, so 22,800 horsepower total. And then it added 4 turbojet engines to help during takeoff or speed dash over the target. And that added a total of 20,800 pounds of thrust.
Shoo-wee.
So anyway, maintenance issues for all you maintenance guys out there. Due to 185 octane required for the B-36 engines that quite often fouled the spark plugs, there was 56 in each engine.
Oof.
So during the service, they'd have to change 336 spark plugs.
Wow.
And I used to think it was bad changing eight spark plugs in my car, but anyway.
What are you doing today? Changing spark plugs?
Yeah, really. Also due to the vibration and test firing of nearly the 20-millimeter guns, a lot of the light bulbs that would shatter down in the Bombay area and had to be replaced. And due to the size of the aircraft, there were no hangars really available to fit the aircraft. And they were stationed in the northern areas to be closer to Russia. And so maintenance crews getting out and working on them outside, not in a hangar, but really facing a lot of terrible temperatures.
Yeah.
Changing 336 spark plugs when it's like 30 below zero.
Yeah,
whatever.
And those things don't really work that well, or they're a little angry in those kind of temperatures to begin with. So
yeah, and so anyway, because it had 6, propeller engines and 4 jets, it was commonly called 6 turning, 4 burning. However, because of all the maintenance issues, the maintenance guys usually called it 2 turning, 2 burning, 2 smoking, 2 choking, and 2 unaccounted for.
Yeah,
that was a common state that maintenance guys were always saying. It's not 6 turning, 4 burning. It's 2 turning, 2 burning, 2 smoking, and 2 choking.
That sounds about right.
Anyway,
just for maintainers' mindset.
Maintenance guys had a little sense of humor.
Yeah, I know that world.
There were 3 engine fires and led to the loss of the first American nuclear weapon, which actually, luckily, only had a lead dummy core in it, but it still had the TNT, and it dropped off just off the coast of British Columbia in February 1950. And final comments, later models were again lightened so they could fly up to 50,000 feet or more, and the cameras could detect a golf ball on a green at 40,000 feet. And they never dropped a bomb or shot one thing in conflict. It just was there in case they needed it. And they would make their windows rattle even when they're flying at high altitude. And I can tell when they took off, they really made things vibrate because my mother hated them because it caused some of the vases and stuff she had on her piano top to vibrate off.
Yeah.
And,
and I imagine, well, here's the thing that really changed that whole philosophy and mindset is the ability to air refuel. Right. See, that's why these planes were bigger, faster, stronger. It was because they had to go longer, go farther. So they had to create these planes with 6 engines so they could literally drive around the planet without refueling.
Right.
And then they said, what if we design our air refuel where the plane can refuel while in midair? Therefore, then we don't have to spend as much money on these big hulking engines and things like that. We just hit. So now you see more
B-52s,
the more modern bombers. They're
fighters,
or fighters. They hit tankers and things, so they don't need wingspans the size of Montana and 72 engines to get from point A to point B.
Part of the argument with the Navy and the Air Force was, they had that really big bomber that could go long distance with atomic bombs. Well, the Navy is saying, hey, we're going to build a really advanced carriers. And we can put attack aircraft on these carriers when once the bombs got smaller,
and that's the other
and they
thing
could
too,
carry atomic weapons as well.
Yeah, it's much more efficient.
So
to
they
bring
could
the military
just steam right up to within certain distances from an enemy. And
it's like, for instance, which these are now older planes, but the B-2 bombers. They literally fly all of their missions out of Missouri, Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. They hit tankers. Like if they're going to bomb Afghanistan or Iraq or anywhere in the Middle East, they fly out of Whiteman Air Force Base. They hit tankers and they do their bombing, and they fly right back to Montana, Missouri there, Whiteman Air Force Base.
Before the mission, they could swing by Burger King and get a little burger, and then in Missouri and jump on their plane. And you're right.
Yeah,
really long missions.
Yeah, that's how they do it now. And so now we go to the Middle East. Like if it's a B-52 or something, they'll park those there. But B-2s they always kept here stateside, and they'll just send them wherever they need them to go.
So they're secure when they're
and I
back home
imagine these
stuff.
new B-24s are probably something similar to that. So, but this is how they overcame the technology to do the things they wanted to do back. How we did it in the 50s and 60s versus how it's done now. And but that's the reason. And there's these marks in the innovation of history that kind of change. And for aircraft, when it comes to being able to bomb anywhere in the world, that air refueling changed the game for that. So that's why all these bombers we're talking about, they predated air refueling and things because they literally had to build it so the plane could go from here to wherever in the world and back on a tank of gas.
That's right. By the way, I want to thank Ron Lynch before I forget about it. He built our little bicycle that the kids can pedal and the light pole comes on, the fan comes on. And also we have our 10,000 watt generator which lightning moves up between 2 rods. It's called Jacob's Ladder.
Okay.
And all the little kids love to come in and push that switch down. And then he just got through building a model of the Redstone missile with the Mercury capsule on top with a nice write-up.
Cool. Well, that's just it. You know, we talk about, you know, yes, we focus on the history and all that, and we want to get everyone to come and learn that. But please bring your families, bring your youth groups. If you have youth groups, you want to set up an appointment or a time to meet and maybe get a chance to get some of these kids. Like you said, you work really in groups of 8, kind of your strongest number.
Well, when we were doing the flight simulators,
yeah,
because we only have 2 flight simulators.
Yeah, but if you'd like to set something up for that, please reach out to go to wafbmuseum.org and shoot a message, and any of the board or volunteers will get out to you and get information back to you on this. But
yeah, we've had a science class out of the Catholic school here came to visit us, and we had a Boy Scout troop come with.
And by the way, if you're just young folks out there, anybody's looking, say, you know what, I want to learn more about getting my license and all that. Maybe I need to talk to them about getting some time on the simulators and learning some of these videos and start watching some of that. Please reach out, and they'd love to help you do that too. So,
absolutely.
Good deal. wafbmuseum.org is the website. If you'd like to make donations, that's a great way to do that. You'll find the Donate Now button there. If you'd like to visit and tour, they work around the flight schedule. So think about the right around lunch hour during the week here.
Right now, the plane leaves at 11:58.
Okay.
So we come in around 9:45 and leave about 12:20.
Okay, so get there late morning, and then through the lunch hour, and then you can come and tour the museum, and and come see all the stuff. By the way, you come hungry and eat at the airport. They got some pretty good burritos and what have you there at the restaurant there, and just make it an afternoon of it, and get to it's. I'm guarantee you're going to be really impressed with some of the things and stuff that's there, and the stories behind some of the stuff. It's a lot of times people end up going there just to go to the plane and get on their plane or get off their plane or pick up someone from the plane.
60% of the guys that walk in go straight to the three rifles that are on the wall. They have the World War II Russian rifle, the German rifle, and the Japanese rifle.
Guys, we're not hard to figure out. We're pretty easy but anyway, come check it out. Come be a part and come see this history right in your own backyard here.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, as always, thank you very much, Robert, for the visit. And
sure.
We will see you next month. And happy 2024 to you.
Yeah, maybe get Doug Weiser to come in next month.
There you go. Bring him in, and we'll have some fun.
I kind of almost forgot about this coming up just right after New Year's, so I didn't get a hold of him. So he might have come in today with us, but we'll get him
in for February here.
Yes, right.
Good deal. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
All right, it is 7:57. Let's get you in your Wall Street Business Update. Quick break before news. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. On this first day of 2024, Airlines for America, a group representing American Airlines, Delta, United, and others, is urging the federal government to take all possible actions to find the appropriate balance between commercial and private aviation traffic with the goal of minimizing delays and cancellations for the traveling public. American drivers can expect lower motor fuel costs for a second straight year in 2024 as a jump in global refining capacity and a surplus in U.S. gasoline stocks drive down retail prices. At least 4 tankers transporting diesel and jet fuel from the Middle East and India to Europe are taking the longer route around Africa to avoid the Red Sea. While some vessels are being diverted in the wake of the attacks by Yemen's Houthis, others continue to use the shorter Red Sea route by way of the Suez Canal. U.S. stock exchanges and other financial markets around much of the world will be closed Monday for the New Year's Day holiday. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Garlic has been around for thousands of years and is one of the world's favorite seasonings. Without garlic, most of our food would be dull and boring, kind of like watching C-SPAN. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. If you like to cook and like to grow things, you ought to try growing your own garlic. Come by Roswell Seed Company and we'll show you how. And next August, you'll have fresh, homegrown garlic to make your food taste great and keep the vampires away.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few rain or snow showers today. We have a little low pressure system working its way through our area. Low 50s on the afternoon high, and then tonight things clear up. Our overnight low pretty cold in the upper 20s. We'll be getting plenty of sunshine on Wednesday with our afternoon high hitting the mid 50s, and then maybe a few more rain showers coming up on Thursday, 55. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The powerful earthquakes that struck west central Japan New Year's Day have left at least 55 people dead, thousands of buildings damaged or destroyed.
Overnight, it wasn't clear how bad the damage has been. The authorities have said that it's quite difficult to access the quake-hit areas because the roads have been damaged in the area.
And that's a BBC's Joanjana Tuwari reporting. Deadly mishap involving two aircraft on the ground in Tokyo.
The plane collided with a Japanese Coast Guard aircraft and burst into flames on the tarmac of Tokyo's Haneda Airport, according to officials. Local media reported that all 379 people who were on board flight JAL 516 got out safely before the plane was engulfed in flames. However, NHK TV has said that 5 crew members have been found dead on the Coast Guard plane. Local TV showed a large eruption of fire and smoke from the side of the plane as it taxied on the runway. The area around the wing then caught fire. I'm Karen Chalas.
The mayor of Secaucus, New Jersey, on the doorstep of New York City, says buses have been dropping illegal aliens in his town so they can catch a train into the city. Secaucus Mayor Michael Ganelli says apparently a loophole, a way to get around New York Mayor Eric Adams' restrictions on the busing of migrants into the city. Former President Trump blasting Ohio's Republican Governor Mike DeWine for vetoing a bill that would have banned sex change operations on children and prevented boys from competing against girls in sports. Mr. Trump saying that DeWine has, in the former president's words, fallen to the radical left. Watching Wall Street, stocks in the red this morning. The Dow is down 6 points. The Nasdaq off 209 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Britain's government says it has made good on Prime Minister Sunak's pledge to clear a huge backlog of outstanding asylum claims.
Today, the government press release proclaims legacy backlog cleared. But is it? First, the word legacy refers only to people stuck in the asylum system on June the 28th, 2022, the day when new asylum rules came into force. All of those cases have been reviewed, but not all have been resolved. 4,500 have been reclassified as complex cases. Now, the Home Office says that shows ministers won't compromise on border security. Critics, including some Tory backbenchers, say Number 10 is cooking the books.
The BBC's Mark Easton. A South Korean opposition leader stabbed in the neck while visiting a city in southeastern South Korea is expected to survive. Lee Jae-myung slumped to the ground following the attack. The assailant quickly subdued and arrested. News and analysis, townhall.com. Illegal aliens now eligible for taxpayer-funded health care In California,
as of New Year's Day, more than 700,000 illegal immigrants have access to health care coverage through the state's Medicaid program known as Medi-Cal. Health care and illegal advocates say the expansion will be life-changing for the population, but critics worry the changes will further strain the system and blast the program's cost while the state faces a record $68 billion deficit. The expansion also inches California closer to a goal of providing universal health care. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
The Michigan Wolverines go up against the Washington Huskies in the College Football National Championship next week. Michigan beat Alabama 27-20 in overtime in the Rose Bowl. Washington down Texas 37-31 in the Sugar Bowl. The national championship is set to go for Monday night in Houston. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on. I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The return of the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
Welcome to 2024.
Yeah, first episode of the new year.
Any big resolutions for this year?
I'm not a resolution guy.
No.
Per se. I mean, sure, I want to do better, but I don't, specifically.
Well, it's like, it's not broken. I'm going to fix it.
Well, I've just never been that guy.
Nope. Pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, I've just never been that guy that said, New Year, I'm going to
You don't need an
weight.
arbitrary date to start doing a thing.
Yeah, if I do it, I need to do it, I do it.
That's the thing. If a date is the thing that's going to kickstart you into doing a thing, then you probably aren't going to stick to it.
Although I am one of those people that do like to say, all right, I'm going to, such and such, I'm going to begin doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I am that type of person.
Sure.
I'm a little regimented in my life, but yeah, I don't specifically say, oh, it's New Year's, I must think of something to change about me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that.
I figure I should probably cut back on some of the nonsense that I put into my body in 2024.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
At
There's things I could
point,
do way
I'm not,
better.
I'm not sure when I get to step off the ride, but at some point I need to stop eating weird stuff for humor points.
Yeah.
There's got to be a point in my life when I just stop doing. I don't know when that is. I definitely haven't hit it yet. But
well, I think there's nothing wrong with not ever stopping doing that. It's just you can't do it all the time.
All the time, yeah.
You can't be like, all right, I'm just going to eat freeze-dried fried ice cream turkey sandwich
right
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I
gotta
should
save it for special occasions.
Maybe today we just eat salads, or what?
Yeah.
Everything in moderation.
There are definite foods or snacks that I enjoy only in the privacy of my own home and would never consume in public just because of how disgusting it feels or looks.
Yeah. Well, when you have no money and you make foods, then you're kind of like, it tastes good, but it's kind of embarrassing to tell people I do this. But I
exactly.
Like the one public thing I do that I tell people about is the ketchup and mac and cheese.
Right.
That's the one that's always been my thing. People are grossed out by it, but my aunt taught me when I was a little kid, and I've loved it, and it's just something that stuck with me my entire 50 years of my life here. So
I ordered a thing on Amazon over the holiday strictly because of something that I found out about it. There's a snack that's made exclusively in the UK. It's called Monster Munch.
Okay.
It's a bagged snack, and it's pickled onion flavored like puffs, like Cheetos like style puffs, but flavored like pickled onions. The thing that I found out about this is it is Steve-O from Jackass. It's literally his favorite food in the entire world. And when he gets a hold of a bag of it, he looks like he's finally got his hands on his drug.
Yeah.
Like his eyes roll back into the back of his head while he's eating it. Other celebrities have told the stories of Steve-O finally getting access to Monster because he never gets to have it.
Right.
So when he does, it's literally like it's a throwback to when he was, huffing nitrous or whatever the heck he was doing.
It hits his happy place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It triggers that part of the brain that the drugs used to hit. It's like people who go through addiction, they have to find that other thing to get hooked on.
Yeah, sure. I get it.
And his is an obscure British snack. So I ordered some just to try it, just to see what it's like.
Well, good. Well, he has to let me know.
Susan, I'm not going to let you know. I'm going to bring some in. We're going to try it.
Good,
right
good. I would like to do that.
That's
I would
right.
Try that. I think my Utz chip run is done.
Oh yeah.
I was at Walmart over the weekend, and I did not find the Utz anymore.
You didn't find them?
I did not.
Oh, they're there.
I looked over the weekend, and I could not find Utz. I walked the whole area. I did not procure
saw
Utz.
them. I saw some yesterday, and they were just the wavy Utz. But I saw some. I don't know if they moved the end cap. That was.
I looked over the weekend. I remember what day it was, Saturday or Sunday, and there was nothing to be had.
Maybe they were just moving. Did you check the chip aisle itself?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, I walked around like a little child.
I was like, wait, what?
Where's it at? Oh, I hit all the areas I'd seen it in the past, and it was none to be had. And I'm like, man, I think my Utz chip run is dried up.
I'd give it a week or two. I reckon that they'll move
well,
something.
If y'all see some, save them.
Right.
Particularly the barbecue and sour cream and onion.
I still have half a bag of the honey barbecue.
I do too. Oh, I have about half a bag of that and the sour cream and onion in the house.
They were really good. I'm not a sit down and eat chips kind of guy.
Well, I'm not either, but those chips I am.
That being said, I can sit down and clean out an entire bag or roll of saltines.
Yeah.
But I'm just not a chips guy.
Oh, Utz chips. Oh.
It's very odd.
They are like I want to tell the world about them.
I like to buy the world Utz chips.
And my family, like my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, they're all celiac disease, which means they can't have gluten.
Right.
Utz chips.
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
Dang. They thought of everything.
The way the good Lord intended.
The way the good Lord. I don't know about that. Pretty sure the good Lord.
Well, here's the thing. They just make their chips. And they were like, oh, yeah, ours just happened to be gluten-free. We just,
If you think about it, the only food that the Lord directly provided to his people was manna. I'm pretty sure that was pure gluten.
All I know is Utz chips, the way they're as delicious as they are, that had to be the hand of God. That's all I'm saying.
Lord looked down upon it and smiled.
Those chips are a 10. I love those chips. Yes, I'm aware some of it's a nostalgic. My kid, that's what I was raised on. And since I haven't had it a lot in my adult.
Oh, dude, I fully get it. You know what was sad was the entire time, like I had food plans going to Oklahoma. I didn't get to indulge in those food plans because I was consistently trying to satiate a 10-year-old. Which sounds weirder than it is, but my kid. But no, I finally ended up getting Brahms, but not until on the way back in Amarillo.
Gotcha.
I stopped at the last Brahms known to man.
You hit it on the way out of the back to reality.
And dude, it just hits that's the way they make their burgers is just it's like Dairy Queen. They put the cheese on the grill.
Last time I had one was when Kim and I did our road trip to Maryland. This was several years ago. And we hit the Brahms in Oklahoma. On the way through Oklahoma, we did the Oklahoma City, we toured, did the
Oklahoma City bombing site.
The bombing site, and so, which is very moving and interesting. But yes, we also hit Brahms and had me burger and ice cream.
I got to say, I went to one of the coolest parks that I've ever been to, just a public park.
Mm-hmm.
It's Scissortail Park in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
We took the kids and my sister's kids. It's a park that's kind of like set up on several different parks, but connected to it is this bridge. You've driven down 40 in Oklahoma City, and you know how they have that big scissor tail that lights up at night?
Yeah.
That metal thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's a walkway.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize until this trip that's a walkway. You can literally walk over I-40 on this path.
Okay.
So from the park, we kind of took this path up and over I-40, just to say we walked over I-40. It's really cool. Like they have a whole wall where like people put locks, like they do in Paris,
France.
Yeah. But yeah,
do they throw their keys in the river or whatever down below?
Yeah, I hope they don't throw stuff down on 40. See, I didn't think about that. That's terrifying to think about.
Yeah.
But my vertigo was setting in hard. Like I know I was safely on a metal, well-constructed walkway that there was no chance of it falling. But while I'm walking over I-40 and there's a semi-truck coming directly underneath me, like I panicked. I wanted to. There was a moment where I wanted to crawl off the bridge just because I was.
Yeah.
But I was like, if my 10-year-old can do this, I can do this.
Yeah, that's what those moments like. All right, I'm the only one doing this, and there's little children standing there just ignore. I need to grow up.
Yeah. I need to have this mindset of nothing's wrong, nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, my children are standing there running around giggling and laughing. I need to get up.
I should probably stop crying.
Oh man, well that's cool.
But yeah, it was a very interesting excursion.
Yeah, but point of that story is when you're in Oklahoma, get Brahms at some point. That was the whole.
Well, I scoured the dairy store thing for the Dream Cooler. They just don't have it this time of year. It's just vanilla ice cream and orange sherbet. You'd think you would just stock it year round.
Yes, it's a summer thing. It's only good in the summer.
It's a doggone shame.
It is. We're going to replay our interview with Crystal Noble. She joined us on Thursday from the Humane Society and talk a little bit about they're getting ready to do the new roof, so they need money. So pony up, folks. We need help here.
Yes.
And so yeah, we had a great conversation with her. So we're going to play that for you in a bit. She got me a cast iron Dutch oven.
Ooh, nice.
That I procured. I got to give her $5 for it. But,
yeah. I walked into my office yesterday and they were just pants sitting on my
desk
for
your children.
That's right. She had been contacting me all throughout the right before Christmas, just asking me about their sizes and stuff. So I assumed something was happening. But yeah, so thanks, Kristen.
I just like to know people's pant sizes. No reason.
It's a weird thing I do.
You look like a 32. Am I right?
You're 2 sizes off. The holidays were cruel.
That's right. No, I'm a 38. It is 8:17. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few rain or snow showers today. We have a little low pressure system working its way through our area. Low 50s on the afternoon high, and then tonight things clear up. Our overnight low pretty cold in the upper 20s. We'll be getting plenty of sunshine on Wednesday with our afternoon high hitting the mid 50s, and then maybe a few more rain showers coming up on Thursday, 55. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Sun's starting to peek out. Still some clouds out there, but humidity's at 73%. Winds are out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. They're saying we could see a little rain before 11 this morning, 20%, but gradually becoming sunny for today with a high of 52. Winds out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 25 degrees. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, 57 for a high. Winds will be out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, increasing clouds, overnight low of 31 degrees. South winds 5 to 10. For you Thursday, rain chances once again, a 20% chance at some rain showers. Partly cloudy, 51 for a high. Breezy, winds will be out of the south, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 30. Friday, sunny, highs near 50 on Friday. And then for the weekend, sunny and 51 for Saturday. Mostly sunny, 56 on Sunday. And then rain chances back in the forecast. Sunday night, 30% chance of rain and a 30% chance on Monday as well, with highs only near 50. Near 50, not even getting to 50. All right, 8:18, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Roswell Humane Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Life is better when you can just be. Be yourself. Be worry-free. Be at your best. Now you can be confident knowing the health insurance you find through Be Well & M has you covered for checkups, prescriptions, and more. Be Well & M can help connect you to a plan that may cost as little as $10 a month. It's time for you to be happy, be healthy, be insured. Let Be Well & M connect you to a health plan that's right for you and your wallet so you can just be. Call 1-833-2-BE-WELL or visit BeWellNM.com.
Knowledge is the power to see more, do more, and be more. As one of the most affordable universities in the Southwest, Eastern New Mexico University has helped thousands of people like you earn a degree. Spring 2024 at ENMU is the perfect time to get started with affordable tuition, great scholarships, and a wide range of in-person or online classes. Learn your power. Apply today for spring 2024 at enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock. Sorry, I had a belch there. And joining us in studio. Hey, the body doesn't understand sometimes that I'm on air and I can't do those things. It just tells me anyway. What are you going to do? So. But joining us in studio this morning, Crystal Noble back from the Roswell Humane Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
We were talking about food and appliances. And
and how some older products are better to keep versus some of the newer ones.
Yeah. Well, and especially when it comes to the world of tools or appliances. You know what I mean? It's just, they were made better 20, 30 years ago, and they were made to last, not made to work for 2 years and break and buy a new one.
And then on some of the things you buy, you can actually buy replacement parts if it breaks.
Yeah.
As to where, like, one of the newer ones, if it breaks, you have to buy a whole new one.
Yeah. Like, there's a whole career industry that is pretty much out of a job now. The TV repairman. Remember that guy?
Uh-huh.
That guy had a job. Nowadays.
And the vacuum repairman?
When's the last time you repaired either one of those items? A vacuum or a television? Never. Because they're not built that way anymore.
Nope.
They're built to be disposable. So, computers are the same way. They really, computers, especially with proprietized stuff, that's the computer world's problem is proprietized. Everyone's like, well, my thing does the same thing, but it's proprietized this way. And so that's why Apple and Android, no one can get along with nobody. But anyway.
That's like split pea soup and broccoli chowder fighting at the end of the soup line.
Exactly. Yeah, they can't get along here. So, but yeah, in appliances and stuff, usually grandma's mixer from the 1960s is going to work way better than a brand new one that you just bought.
It's funny because me and my cousin were talking over the Christmas holiday. My cousin still has our grandma's hand mixer that actually had a stand that you would just set it on, and then you could set the bowl in front of it and it would mix. The only problem with that is there's nothing to lock the bowl into, so you have to hold the bowl. Oh, because if you set it and then walk away,
otherwise that bowl's going to go shooting across the room.
Yeah.
Which could be fun if you just, like, I'm sure if your husband one day decided to mix things, I think you would just stop and let him watch just to see what happened.
I think his mom had a similar one, so
he might be a little wise.
He might be a little wise.
Okay. Yeah.
I laughed because
I don't think we have it anymore.
I got, the KitchenAid for Christmas. Well, okay, I got it before Christmas, but it was essentially for Christmas. And so I was making pumpkin pies for Christmas dinner. And so I had set it, put everything in it, and I turned it on. Well, the lever on the side, okay, when you're standing in front of it, you can't see the numbers.
Right.
So I didn't remember how many clicks was 3 clicks. I had pumpkin pie, pew, and I was like, whoop. And so I walked around the corner. He goes, "What's wrong?" I was all, should have put my shield on.
Yeah, my mixer turned into a pumpkin shooter.
Yeah. I'm all looking up. I'm like, "Do I have any on the roof?" Okay, no.
Went from a pumpkin mixer to a pumpkin chucker.
Yeah.
I have an Instapot, but I'm too intimidated to use it, so it's just sitting in a cabinet. Isn't that embarrassing?
You're right. We've never used that thing. I never even thought of that.
Exactly.
What are we going to do with that?
I'm too intimidated to use it.
Yeah. Huh. We're going to fix that. Maybe make some soup in it.
You're going to make your split pea soup in it.
Well, we have a crock pot, so we always grab that. You know what I mean? We just...
Yeah.
See, I prefer crock pots and pressure cookers over Instapots.
Yeah.
Well, an Instapot is like a pressure cooker.
I know.
And it's...
But like you said, it doesn't do it as well as something that's designed to just be a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
You know?
I just... No.
It's like we have that toaster oven, air fryer, baker, and all that, which is convenient. But to be honest, as an air fryer, it's not the best as an air. You know what I mean? Like if you want to make toast or heat up something, one of those Totino's pizzas in there pretty quick, no problem. But if you want to air fry it, it kind of turns the whole house into a weird thing, and it smells like it's about to catch on fire. Yeah.
So we got an air fryer from the thrift store that was brand new, a Ninja basket air fryer.
Okay.
I had never cooked in one, so I was like, we're going to try chili rellenos in it.
Not so good.
There was no taste, no crisp, no crunch. I pulled them out, and the egg batter just went off the chili relleno, and I was like,
Guess you need to actually fry those.
But I used a chili relleno air fryer recipe because you do the egg batter differently.
Gotcha. And it worked out that way? Or no?
No. It was horribly disgusting. And it stunk, and it smelled like burnt electrical cooking, and so that's the last time it was used, and I probably should get rid of it, because it's taking up a spot for, another kitchen gadget.
As I say, we got
I can come home after work, and I can tell if Mike's used the toaster oven, because it stinks when I open the door. I'm like, ugh.
I eat lunch. What do you want to do? I come home for lunch and I eat lunch sometimes.
We've had that for several years, and it's time to get rid of it.
Well, the thrift store would probably enjoy it.
No, I
or
don't even know if
somebody.
I was about to say, I don't know that thing.
No, it's dirty.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Instapot. Never mind, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that thing, we probably just get rid. Now, we go there and buy a new one, but I don't know if I'd donate it. It's not worth donating.
No,
you'd be like, who donated this thing? It's going right to the landfill.
No, Mike, I saw you on camera. I got
if
you.
the toaster oven shows up all of a sudden, you know they're going to blame me.
Yeah. I'm going to be rewind video. I know he drives the Jeep.
Well, it does work, because I still use it to this day.
Works,
but yeah.
it's had its day. It's time to retire that thing.
It had a good couple-year run.
So my husband is having his input, and he says he prefers food. He doesn't care what kitchen gadgets they are. He just wants food.
He wants real food. He doesn't care how it got heated or made. I hear you. I'm the same way.
But I am going to say this once and one time only. I really like my KitchenAid.
Cool.
They're heavy.
Sure.
But
again, you get what you pay for.
You do, and in the beginning you have the new motor smell, but obviously you have to use it to get rid of that smell.
Gotta break it in.
Yeah.
Just like anything else.
Well, I don't know. I think that thing's made 10 pies and I don't know what else, but I've used it quite a bit.
Nice.
Good for you.
Good for you.
See, that's the thing is.
Well, that's just it too. There's a difference, Kim. She likes cooking and baking. You not so much.
Yeah.
So
it would get used, but not.
But you don't like doing those things, so.
Well, I bought
of doing it.
bigger one.
Yeah.
Because when I do that stuff, I do big bunches of it.
Yeah.
So it's easier. But I think if you just want it for mixing occasionally, you could get away with one of the smaller ones, because they have the 3-quart one.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I've been having my eye on that. And we got to be careful with our appliances because we don't have a lot of room.
Yeah, I
in
was
our
telling her
place.
that earlier. Well,
Yeah.
sounds like we can get rid of an Instapot, a Flavor Wave.
We don't have we didn't bring the flavor.
I'm pretty sure it's in that closet in there.
She's going to go home and look, and
I'm
she's going to
pretty
be
sure
like,
it's sitting up top there. You don't see it because you're short. I think it's on the top shelf.
And there goes the short joke. Well, there you go. It could very well be.
I'm not saying it as a joke. I'm saying it because you may just not notice it up there.
You got a point.
it's above eye level.
Yeah,
I cannot
it's
decipher
at my
if it's
eye
there or
level.
not.
It's not at your eye level. It's over your head.
It's not like she gets a ladder and climbs up and looks, what do I got up here today?
Yeah.
Right.
Although that step stool's right next to that closet, so that her official, when I can't get things, I have to get a stool to get it. That's where that's located.
So I have a special spatula, and then if it's big stuff, I have a step stool, a three-step.
She'll grab the tongs out of the.
Use it as a reach.
Out of the
thing.
you know, like your tongs you flip
Mm-hmm.
your chicken with. Yeah, she'll go grab that out of it and go grab a glass or a can if she can't reach it. Yeah. And I'm literally sitting right there. I was like, Kim, I'm right here.
I'm independent.
I understand that, but I'm 3 feet away. Let me help you.
If I can do it, I'm doing it.
I get that.
So John laughs because, if there's something tall and I can't reach it, I'll do the jump with the spatula and knock it and catch it.
Yeah.
And he's like, all you have to do is ask. And I'm like, no.
Well, and here's the thing you don't understand.
get it.
I'm short too. I'm 5'8".
So
when
you
people
appreciate-
when people ask me to get stuff off top shelf, I'm like, yeah, I'm useful. Because normally I'm not that guy. Because
Do you
I'm
know
5'8".
what's even sadder is going to Walmart and trying to reach something on the top shelf and somebody who's like an inch taller than you walks by and says, oh, let me grab that for you.
Like,
I'm all standing on the bottom shelf like trying to grab it.
But
I'm like,
but I'm that guy in Walmart that will not ask. I'm like, oh, he's up top. I need it. I will climb shelves.
that's
and I will
me.
Get, yeah, that's
and
me
then
too.
somebody walks by because
Yeah.
I'm like that far from it, like reaching my
Yeah, it's like, I
final
didn't need your
product.
help now. I needed it 2 minutes ago when I.
Well, this lady, I was trying to get like Italian dressing packets or something, and they had them on the very top shelf, and I was like, God dang it! So I'm all climbing up the shelves, and I'm all
trying to knock one down.
I actually had a spatula in the basket,
Oh,
and so I
nice.
was getting the spatula, trying to get it, and she goes, "Hold on, let me help you," and she just reaches up and hands it to me, and I was like, "Wow, I feel like a child." And she's like, "Here you go," and I was like, "Thank you."
Well, see, that's when you look at those people like, hey, if you need anything from down here, let me know. I
Oh,
got
right,
you.
right.
I will remember that next time.
Yeah, just put his stuff in the very bottom.
I'll
Hey,
get
if
the
you need
bottom
anything from
shelf.
down here, let me get it for you.
I'll get the bottom shelf.
I will so say that next time I have that happen.
That is
Yeah.
that is good. But
we should talk dogs, I'm thinking.
normally, after Christmas, everybody gets all their new gadgets, so they start going through their old stuff and getting rid of it. The thrift store is accepting donations. They will be, what's today? Thursday.
Yes.
So we are normal hours today and tomorrow,
Mhm.
and then on Saturday we will be closing at 12.
Gotcha. So
And
if
then
you,
back
if you wanna do
open, they'll reopen on Wednesday the 3rd, and then when we close at noon on Saturday, we will reopen at 10 a.m. on Tuesday the 2nd.
Okay, so if you want to do some shopping Saturday, get up early because they'll be
Yes.
closing at noon.
Yes.
They won't be open their normal Saturday hours because of the New Year's holiday here. And the thrift store is normally not open Sunday or Monday anyway, or
Right.
Tuesday for that matter. So when you come back Wednesday, it'll be new stuff day next week. And so with the extra time, there might be extra new stuff there. So
Right.
Yeah, so maybe make sure you're part of the 10 o'clock club on Wednesday
Yeah.
morning when they're at
They're
the door.
faithful. They're very faithful.
I hope
do
they
know.
use that. Embrace that as a name. Tell them if they want a name. And
Right,
I'll
you like
suggest
the Breakfast Club? Yeah, the 10 o'clock
The 10
club.
o'clock club. And I think they can own that and embrace it.
I think so. They did get some really nice recliners donated.
Okay.
So if anybody's didn't get the recliner they wanted for Christmas, come down, take a look.
Okay.
They got some other little odd and end furnitures. They're pulling some stuff out of the storage that they put up so that way they could have Christmas items out.
Okay.
They're going to be pulling some of that stuff out too. A ton. They still have a ton of clothing.
Okay.
Shoes, like winter shoes, boots, the Uggs.
Don't
all
buy
of
them
that.
new.
Don't.
Oh, especially Uggs, man.
And you
I
know
know
what's funny
I
is,
bought a
like-
pair of Uggs or two, and they are very expensive now.
I'm not an Ugg girl.
She likes Uggs.
I don't like my feet to get hot and sweaty.
To be
but my
honest,
feet are always cold. But the second I stick them in Uggs, they just like sweat instantly.
to
I'm
be
like,
honest,
I need airflow.
Unless you live like up north or in Ruidoso, you have no business needing Uggs in New Mexico.
Our daughter lives in El Paso, and she wears Uggs in the summer.
I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying.
I'm like, why? What's wrong with you?
That cold where you need the Uggs.
But-
we ain't the Arctic.
They had
But I get it. It's a fashion thing.
probably like 15 or 20 pair donated brand new in the box.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where they came from, but they still had tags on them and everything.
Okay.
So
Well, good too. They probably said, I love Uggs. And then he said, I moved to New Mexico. It's too hot for these
yeah.
Uggs.
Somebody with the Ugg fetish that decided that they were coming down to warmer climes. They're like, whoa.
Yeah. I need to change over to Crocs.
So our president of the Humane Society loves Crocs.
Yeah. It is a step down from Uggs, by the way. I'm just making a joke. Don't
And,
get all mad.
So I saw a meme that says I might have done a lot of things wrong in my life, but I've never bought a pair of Crocs. And I was like, oh my God, that is so me, because I'm anti-Croc. I'm like, no.
My brother almost got me to buy a pair of Crocs because he was wearing them and he was talking about how great they are. And I'm like, Chris, really? And I got to looking and I was looking at them like, nah, I'm not wearing these.
No, but they do have the ones that are like completely enclosed that don't have the holes in
Yeah,
them.
they're less Croc looking.
Yeah. But still, no.
Wow, and people swear by them that wear them. They do, and I'm
some
like,
foot doctors have actually been prescribing Crocs for plantar fasciitis.
Really?
One of my employees has a prescription for Crocs.
Interesting.
I was like,
There's also that shoe or thing that I keep seeing commercials for that Alex Smith, the quarterback, is doing. There's like other couple athletes, but they're usually athletes that had like Alex Smith had that bad knee injury.
Oh.
And so he talks about these shoes and his recovery and how great they are. But they're kind of, I think, the same as kind of like Crocs, but probably 10 times more pricey and more.
well, yeah, if a football player's advertising it, you know it's expensive.
You're not going to find those at Payless. They're going to be, in your fancy shoe stores.
Well, when you find a Payless, let me know where it's at, because I want to go shop.
Well, I dated myself a little bit.
I miss Payless. I loved that place. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
And now we have Shoe Depot.
Yeah. And then we had, back in our day, we had Kenny's. And this was back in Maryland. It was a chain shoe store, but it was like Payless, or it was called Kenny's. And they sold, you could get Nikes, but not like.
So it was like factory to you Nikes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Like, really, they were like, yeah, we got one pair of Nikes. Come see our Pumas. We got lots of Pumas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diodora. I was like, what? Unless you're a soccer nerd, you have no idea what Diodora is.
Adidas.
Yeah.
Reebok.
Although I'm an Adidas guy. I love Adidas. I wear Adidas. Matter of fact, my beat up shoes I'm wearing right now. Adidas.
Well, I'm a Nike girl.
I'm a New Balance.
Yes. And to be honest.
But I do like Pumas. Like, some of the tennis shoes from Pumas are very, very comfortable.
Oh, they were very popular.
It just depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So if I'm walking on asphalt and concrete, I ain't doing Pumas. If I'm running around the office and outside with the dogs, I'm in Nike.
You're in the Nikes. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I need to get new shoes. These are beat up. Like, there's no soles.
My husband has become a Skechers man.
I have a few. See, I have a few pair of Skechers. I got some Nike. I got a little bit of hodgepodge. And because I don't throw shoes away either. That's part of my problem.
Yeah, neither does he, until I come along and I'm like, no, that's got to go. That's got to go.
Like,
That's got
literally,
to go.
I've got my combat boots in my closet.
So does he.
From 30 years ago.
So does he.
Or 20 years ago, whatever long it was.
He'll never get rid of them.
No, they're good boots. Those boots will
They're
will
doing
outlast.
you no good if you
I
don't
wear them once or twice a year when the weather's bad. That's when I wear them. But they're
Do you look? He's giving the reason for you not to throw them away.
those boots. I mean, you could make an argument for many other shoes in my closet. I would even concede to that, but not those boots. Those boots will I will probably be buried in them because they're just that good of boots. They're good
And this
boots.
is why I wouldn't dare throw them out.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be allowed to go home.
Oh yeah,
No.
I would be. Put it this way, you would lose all of your purses had those boots disappeared. Your purse collection, bye now.
When John gets a new pair of tennis shoes, his old shoes go to yard shoes, and then the yard shoes go to the trash.
Yeah,
So we recycle out, but
like I have 3 or 4 pairs, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll wear them to do this, and then I never do. I just need to.
He needs to go.
I need to weed through it, and I need to whittle it down to about 3 or 4 solid pairs of shoes that I wear on a regular. But those boots will always stay. I've got.
He looks at me.
I'm reminding you.
Yeah, do not touch
I'm
them
not
combat.
touching
Those
them. I
boots,
haven't yet.
they're
I'm not
steel
going
toe
to.
and they're heavy, but they're indestructible. They're military. I literally wore them and put them through the roughest stuff in the military, and they came out smelling like a rose. Those boots are amazing boots. I love those boots. I will wear those boots
once or twice a year until he dies.
Absolutely. Those are good boots. You'll not see them in the thrift store because I will never donate those boots to the thrift store. Other things, yes. Matter of fact, we might have some recliners for you here in a month or 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're in the market for new.
Yeah, to replace some recliners. We may. And
we got to get rid of our.
They might need a little cleaning because I've had a lot of butt time in it. But
okay.
But on the other side, they're power recliners.
Oh, nice.
Got a remote.
They got a battery pack. You charge it up.
Kim is too short for her legs to actually run that thing, so we get the battery powered ones. And since she has one, I gotta have one because why am I over here doing this while she's? So we both.
It's so funny that I understand that lingo.
Right, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
100%. 100%.
And then when the battery gets low, it beeps at you.
Yeah.
So you just plug it in.
Yeah, and you plug it in for about a day. It takes about 12. But like for Kim, she because she reclines more than I do, she has to probably charge it once a month. Once a month, maybe. So. Me, I go about 3-4 months before I have to charge it, and it still works. You just got to plug it in somewhere, and we have a cord that because our chairs aren't near an outlet per se. That's why we had the remote battery packs for them.
Oh, got it.
And so you can put them anywhere in the house. But when you do need to charge it, we've got like a 12, 15-foot cord that we stretch across the house to plug them in.
And they're wall huggers too.
Yeah, they can be wall. Yeah,
so you can put them next to a wall. When you recline, it's made to.
So it won't punch into the wall.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of them will go back.
It goes forward instead of back.
This one kind of goes. So they're called wall huggers.
So it doesn't go back too far.
So you can have them by a wall.
But you lay flat, but it instead of it pushing back, it pushes forward. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure whenever you find your new set, Camille would be more than happy to go pick those up for you
Just
guys.
saying that someone will get a good deal on those when you guys will charge dirt cheap, but they're probably we got them from Glenn's. They're probably we'll be paid about $600-700 a piece for those or something like that. It was quite a bit of money. They're nice chairs.
Furniture's not cheap.
Yeah.
No.
By any means, if you get good quality furniture, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
We had it custom. We picked
up
our
that's right.
material.
We picked that fabric and everything. That's right. It took a little longer to get it because we custom picked so. But yeah, we've had them for almost 10 years?
Around there because we moved in the condo 7.
Yeah, and those came with us. That was one of the few pieces of furniture that came with us.
So I
those
would say maybe
recliners.
about 9 years.
Yeah, it's about 9-10 years.
It's about time.
And they still work great. They just they got my butt groove in it, and they got her butt groove in it. So other than that,
somebody else's butt needs to take place.
Yeah, they just need to be regrooved.
It's like Sheldon's spot in Big Bang Theory.
Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we're gonna go to Sheldon's spot here.
That's right, and to regroove. But yes, that might be something on the thrift store.
Well, like I said, whenever you guys get your new ones or whatever, and you need those picked up, call Camille. Would be more than happy to go out.
And that's the thing. If you guys have donations, call ahead. Yes. Don't just drop it off. Call ahead. Let Camille get a chance to tell you, bring it right now, or we'll come get it right now, or hey, I would love that, but our storage is a little full right now. Can you hold it for a couple weeks or a month or so till we move some inventory, and then we can bring it back in or bring it in.
She'll tell you, what does and doesn't sell, and if you have questions about, is this donatable or whatever, she will be more than happy to tell you what she can and can't sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if you do have the old tube TVs or the big old tube monitors,
nobody wants those.
Nobody wants those. They don't sell, and we have to pay a special price to dispose of those.
Yeah, because even
of
the e-waste people. Yeah, they like when you go, when they have the e-waste events, they tell you we can't accept those tube TVs because they really can't recycle them. They can't.
Right.
They are very. I think they can. Parts of them, but
they have to dismantle them.
Yeah, the juice is not worth the squeeze for them.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, when you hear these e-waste events, there's a company they're giving this to, and at the end of the day, they're a for-profit company, and so they make money recycling and doing this stuff, and usually the cities or whoever that support it get, some kind of kickbacks or help outs.
Right.
But even those tube TVs, or usually same thing with appliances. That's why they usually don't take stoves and refrigerators, because some of the components in there is not the stuff they can recycle, and it actually costs them a lot of money to dispose of it properly. So that's why they don't take that stuff. But it's no different with the thrift store. They, refrigerator stuff they'll take, but tube TVs, any brick TVs out there, anything that isn't a flat panel LCD, plasma, or whatever the latest in technology is, that's what they want. They don't, if your TV, even if it's a 40-inch projector TV that was the Cadillac of TVs 20 years ago,
like flat screens are being considered like old school now, and they're going to just the drop projectors from the wall and just projecting on your wall across the room.
Yeah, projection TVs way different than it used to be. Like back in the day, it was kind of like watching film strips, but with a little better. But
now like when you're looking at TVs, they're actually selling the projection TV box.
It's like going to a movie, like at a movie theater.
And it just, you have to have an open wall, and it's the entire wall.
Well, and that's just it. You can make it as big as you want. That's where you're not spending thousands of dollars on a 100-inch screen. You don't need it.
I just want to watch football where like I'm walking across the wall and they're shorter than me.
But then but the only problem is you got to worry about the real down in fronts, because if you got a tall guy with melon head that stands in front of the projector,
There's only one tall person that comes to our house, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be standing in front of the projector because he likes to watch football too.
Good. So he's like, down in front, bud.
Yep.
You make a better door than you do a window. That was what Mom always told me, to get out of the way of the TV.
Yeah.
That was like when I'm in the way of the TV or something, Mom she goes, you make a better door than you do a window. That was her code for get the hell out of the way. That's when she's in a good mood. Other times, just get the hell out of the way. But anyway, by the way, I know we're jumping all over the place today, but it's Christmas. We don't do.
And it's New Year's, so mostly everybody's getting old stuff sorted out from the new stuff they got in, and
but set that stuff aside. And,
if you
call the Humane Society and say, hey, I've got some.
If it's just like a small load or whatever, and you have like a little bit of this or that, that's not normally a big problem. But if you have a full trailer load or large furniture items, do please call ahead.
Yeah.
Because that does help them arrange and make room to where it's not a safety hazard.
Sure.
Because remember, our thrift store is not very, very big. So when we have a lot of clutter in there, it becomes a safety hazard, and we have to make sure that it's wheelchair accessible.
Well, and that's
for
just it. Yeah, your customers come through.
People
and,
who have handicap
and
issues, and we want to make sure that it's safe for them to walk through and not get hurt.
It's got to look like a store, not like someone's basement. That's
kind of,
you know what I mean?
Or one of the garages from Antique.
Antique Roadshow.
Yeah, Antique Roadshow.
Pickers.
American Pickers. That's what it is. Pickers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta climb over this box. Yeah, no.
Yeah, they don't want to look like that. But please call ahead and yes, those donate, because everything you donate, every dime that when they turn around and sell that stuff goes back to pay for vet bills.
And we
cleaning
did sign for us to get a new roof. So
good. So
we are
that's
definitely going to need donations. Final cost is over $100,000.
And that's so. And to be honest, if yes, we want you to buy as many refrigerators and clothes as possible. But if you'd like to just make donations for that roof, that would be an amazing thing.
That really would. And if you need a tax receipt and you want to be able to claim it on taxes, we can give you a tax receipt to help you with donations.
And I know everyone's trying to get those in real quick before the end of the year here for their tax write-offs, and please. Consider the Humane Society as one of those recipients.
Like I said, the cost is over $100,000. So, but we have to have the roof because it's starting to bow, and we can't have one of the air conditioners. You guys have been kind of milking it for a while. We have, and making repairs and patches here and there. But the building was built in the early 70s, mid 80s.
Yeah.
And so it is way overdue. It has lasted a good amount of time, but it is time
to. And that's a flat roof too, isn't it?
It's got a mild pitch.
Does it?
Like, literally, you don't know it's pitched until you're like 25 feet out across
It's probably
the street.
pitched just enough to keep the water from standing on the roof.
It is. That's basically all it is just enough pitch to make the water run down and go into the gutters.
Yeah. But as a flat roof owner myself, I know that there is a little bit more maintenance involved in flat roof structures and things. And so, you can put, like you guys have been putting the Band-Aids on it for as long as you can, but now we're at the point where we need to replace it.
So please, if you have, I don't care if it's 1 penny or 50 pennies or whatever you would have available to help us, we would greatly appreciate it. And if you do need stuff for tax receipts, or if you want to mail something in, put a note. Hey, this is for the roof. Can you please mail me back a tax receipt? Absolutely. And we will definitely mail you back a tax receipt, so that way you can file it for your taxes.
Absolutely. If you want another fun way, become a member of the Humane Society.
Yes.
That way you can.
2024 memberships are good to go. I'll be sending out the newsletter probably in a few weeks.
Okay.
We need to get past the Christmas and New Year's holiday before I can even focus on 2024.
Sure.
What comes with the membership?
So when you become a membership, you get a newsletter quarterly. And then I believe they're going to start doing this upcoming year where you get a discount when you shop at the thrift store. So we have like little membership cards that says, I'm a member of the Roswell Humane Society. And then when you present that card, I think they're going to do like 20% off.
Oh, nice. Already on top of the hugely discounted prices for the items you're buying. So, yeah.
And then with the membership, when we have our big meeting, like where you vote and help us make decisions,
you get to say
we announce when the meetings are going to be and where it's going to be at, and you're invited to come down and give us input.
Yeah. And to be honest, you're always looking for volunteers to serve in that capacity. Because,
we are.
You have your staff and you have some volunteers that come in, but, there's always a ton of work going on, and becoming a member and getting more involved, serving in that way. Maybe becoming a volunteer too, that's another, come on the board and say, hey, I tell all these suggestions at the meeting. Well, then you come and be a part of that solution also to help make those things better and all that. And that's a great way to get involved. But your membership fees, that's money that goes back to the Humane Society. And again, goes back to that roof and taking care of those animals.
Because of Tascosa and how much they support us. When we do our newsletter, I email it over to Danny. They print it out for us free of cost.
Do they still do? Because I know, didn't they used to offer, like, if you need copies and things?
They do. If you need copies,
you bring like food pantry or dog food or something like that, they give it to you for free.
They normally do like a monetary donation.
Okay.
So like if you go in and like if you're getting copies made, they'll tell you just leave a donation for the Humane Society.
Okay.
And then they tell me, hey, we have this here for you, or Daniel or Tracy will bring it by.
Okay.
But if you need copies made, they're free as long as you make a donation to us.
Okay.
And then we're going to start back the first Fridays. I think Danny was telling me in February, we're going to do like every other month. We're going to do themed months like Valentine's Day, Easter, 4th of July. So because they've already got books donated for kids for these events.
Good.
But Tascosa is very wonderful. They donate the printed newsletters for us.
Yeah,
if we could get the postal service to donate postage, that would be great. But
there's a couple of great businesses like that in town that really go above and beyond.
Didn't they finally win the show off on the front window?
Oh, did they? I haven't heard. I hadn't heard who won. I missed that.
I thought they were going to announce it.
Maybe they did. I just completely missed it. I just Main Street
Roswell.
Was Roswell Seed in the running?
Roswell Seed did not do it because they're not close enough to downtown Main Street.
Yeah, they're about block. Well, there still are. They're just a block from the party action.
First place was Tascosa. Second place was Imagine That. And third place was CS Designs.
Well, congratulations.
So, yes, congratulations to everybody. Those were some very, very wonderful, beautiful nativity scenes and just the creations. I was like, I couldn't do that.
That's part of the fun when we always tell you to go down when when you're doing your Christmas shopping and you're enjoying the lights and everything. And like you said, the businesses do their holiday storefronts and everything else. And
I believe they had that already set up when they had the Christmas light parade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's usually right when they set it up, is that 1st of December.
Yeah.
When they start. I think the contest starts usually around that 1st of December. So, well, good. Congratulations to them.
Yes, very much so.
And thank them for supporting the Humane
Danny was
Society.
like, well, as long as we can make second, I'm not trying to make first. And look at them. They made first. Congratulations.
Shoot for the second and get the first.
Yeah. I'm going to try that. No.
That's right. That sounds like that movie Dodgeball about setting the bar, See, the problem is you're setting the bar too high. You set it low, you're never disappointed.
Agreed.
That was basically the gist of the message. But anyway. as far as adoptions go, how are the cats and dogs?
We have actually had a very busy week. I had 3 vet runs this morning before coming here.
Awesome.
I got a couple more tomorrow.
So pets are getting homes.
We are.
Awesome.
We had stopped adoptions right before Christmas because of, 1, the holiday, and
Right.
2, vets' offices weren't doing
Sure,
surgeries.
it's kind of hard to get all the medical care they need for you to
Right.
adopt during this time.
And so we still have 2 more that we're working on that if they're not finished up this week, they'll be finished up the beginning of next week.
Okay.
But we've had quite a bit of people come in. And, what's really nice is it's not people are wanting to come in to look for gifts. They're coming in to look for family.
Right.
Like, hey, we want to add a member to our family.
Yeah.
So,
well, and even so they're going to be open this week here. And even if you can't get the vets in, you can still go and meet your pet and do
Yes.
everything
And-
leading up to taking the pet to the vet to get spayed or neutered or microchipped and microchipped.
It's only 2 or 3 more days until we're out of the holiday, craziness. So once January 2nd comes, it'll be back to normal and normal
and of course
hours.
they can set you up for in the meet and greet room where you can hang out with the dog or the cat.
I almost had to do an introduction in my office yesterday because we had the cat room full, the puppy room full, and the peewee
What a
room,
great
and the
problem to
front
have.
lobby. And I was like, okay, you got to give me just a minute because my office is not big enough for this.
What a great problem to have. I hope you have that more often where there's so many people at one time that they're wanting to spend
Yes.
time. That'd be an amazing problem.
Yesterday was a very, very busy day, and it was a good busy. It
Good.
wasn't, the dreaded busy. It was a very good busy. And I've only got a couple of cats left that are technically available for adoption. I have more in quarantine, but they're not quite ready to come out yet. So
We give them a week or two, they'll be ready.
yeah, it'll be probably the 2nd week in January because they just came in a couple of days ago.
Okay, and they got to make weight.
And they got to get a little adjusted to the shelter.
Sure. Well, and that's true. I mean, it's a whole, especially for some of these animals that
It's shelter shock. They come in and they're like, whoa. And
They gotta
give
get 'em
them some
comfortable.
time to calm down and relax.
Yeah, they're going
And-
to be a little, you're going to see that cat or dog right now, and you're like, I don't want that dog. A cat or dog's crazy. All it does is bark and howl or whatever. Well, it's because they're getting acclimated. I'm going to guess, just say you got sent to jail.
You're
that
gonna
first
act
night in
feral,
jail,
too.
first night in jail, you're not going to be too comfortable. But after night 2 or night 3, you're like, all right, I at least got the routine down.
You're gonna act feral and wild because you're gonna not want anybody to mess with you.
Can we
and-
rate the coffee cup across the bars, Attica, whatever you're doing, and then
I laugh because every time I see a metal coffee cup, I pick it up and I go tink it on something and I sing "Let My People Go." And when my husband and I went to Alcatraz this summer,
you did it.
I saw the metal cups and I was like, "Let my people go!" And he's just looking at me like, "Okay, calm down. You were way too excited to be in prison."
Hey, there's some bars in a middle cup. I've got to run
I've
across.
got to do this. But it was, I was like, "Oh my God, I have to do this." And he just looks at me and he's like, "Don't, just stop."
Just act like an adult for a minute, please. No, it's not what I do.
It's my turn to act like a toddler.
That's right. You're the one who's handler. But anyway, I just saw the time. We better wrap it up here.
Yeah. So
if you have any questions,
Yes,
give
please.
the holiday hours for this weekend.
So we're going to be open all the way until noon on Friday or
Okay.
Saturday, sorry. And we'll be closing at noon.
Gotcha.
And then we'll reopen Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. And then the thrift store is going to close at noon as well on Saturday. And then they'll reopen Wednesday morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah. So
we're only taking a half day on Saturday just so that way we can get, the animals situated for New Year's.
Sure.
Because people are going to get fireworks and all of that. And so we got to make sure that we're able to keep them calm.
backyard, because dogs, even if they've never escaped that yard before, if they're feeling threatened or whatever, you'll be amazed at what they get through.
The 3 busiest days at a shelter. The day after the 4th of July, the day after New Year's, and the day after Christmas.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yep, it's just
So-
be mindful of that.
Please, if your animals have a fear of fireworks, thunder, whatever, keep them inside. Put them in a quiet area.
As a person, back when I was a kid, my dog Socks, when I was a teenager, she was one of those dogs. Matter of fact, after I left, one 4th of July, she was like 14. She got freaked out, left, and she was gone. My dad thought, we'll never see her again. They found her a week later, 5 miles away.
Wow.
14-year-old dog survived and did all that, and but because she was so freaked out, that's what I'm saying. The dog, it's that adrenaline thing kicks in, and they'll bust through fences.
Fight or flight, they gotta go.
That's what happens, and so just be mindful of that. So if you have dogs, particularly dogs, cats,
They'll run and hide themselves.
Yeah, bring them inside. if need be, some of these dogs have, like we had her parents had a lab that was scared of thunderstorms, but you put the dog in the car, cool as can be. So.
My grandmother would have to, when it would start storming in Redoso, go to the house and open the door and let Daisy in the truck.
Yeah.
And she was fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
Go drive
like if it was
around
cloudy
with
out,
Daisy.
she'd go out the back porch, look up, it's cloudy, she'd go right back inside.
Yeah, the weather detector.
First dog I ever seen that looked at the weather.
And one time I put on thunder rolls in the beginning.
She's freaked out.
Real loud. I was scared.
She's not a Garth Brooks fan.
Not many are nowadays.
But anyway, RoswellHumane.org.
Yes.
Go there, and you can see all the pets there. If you'd like to become a member, that's where you can sign up to do that. You can, and like I said, anybody and anything can become a member. Your pets, your kids, your pet rock, all of the above can become a member of the Humane Society. And Roswell Humane. And if you want to kind of peruse all the animals that are calling the Humane Society home, you'll find pictures of them at the website. If you see not available, they're in quarantine. They're not adopted. They're in quarantine. They're just waiting on weight or waiting on shots or waiting on something. Or maybe they've got, they just came in and they got to make sure they don't have parvo or any of the other communicable diseases before they put them in the general group there. So I guess we got it all.
I think so.
All right. Well, thank you very much, ma'am. Have an amazing new year, and we'll see you in 2024.
Hey, I just
now
got
I can
an email.
Say that.
I'm finishing another adoption today. I just got an email.
Oh, sweet.
So
look at that. All right. Keep adopting those. That'd be a problem. We said we're out of pets, guys.
I saw that one shelter, and I don't remember where it was that their goal was to have every animal in the shelter adopted before Christmas. And Christmas morning, they had a completely empty shelter.
Good for them.
Wow.
Love that.
I was like,
amazing.
Yeah. Let's see if we can do that here one day. So. All right. It's 10:01. We got to go. I'm officially into the other show where I'm in the news. So.
Missile attacks. Ukraine's president says 5 civilians killed, nearly 100 injured in the capital, Kiev, and in northeastern Kharkiv. Immigration, an issue of growing concern for voters from both parties, according to a newly released AP-NORC poll.
Overall, the December poll found the concerns about immigration climbed to 35% from 27% the previous year. 55% of Republicans say the government needs to focus on immigration, up from 45% in December 2022. Meanwhile, 22% of Democrats listed immigration as a priority, up from 14% the previous year.
Correspondent Edwin Mora. One New Jersey mayor says buses of illegal aliens bound for New York City are being dropped off at a train station in his town.
Secaucus Mayor Michael Ganelli says the buses are stopping in his city in an apparent effort to evade an executive order by New York's mayor trying to regulate how and when migrants can be dropped off in the city. Ganelli called the tactical loophole by bus operators and says state police reported that migrants are being dropped at train stations throughout New Jersey. Democratic mayors have already spent hundreds of millions of dollars to house, transport, and provide medical care for migrants being shipped from Texas and other states. I'm Norman Hall.
Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 15 points, while the NASDAQ is down sharply. It's off 258 points, or a loss of almost 2%, and the S&P 33 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Brazil's improving economy is leaving opponents of Brazil's president unimpressed.
Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva likes to boast he had a good first year after returning to the job. The economy is improving. Congress passed a long overdue tax reform bill, and rioters who wanted to oust him are now in jail. Still, the 78-year-old leader has struggled to boost his support on Main Street and among lawmakers. Some major setbacks have also taken place. It's a sign his future could be less productive in a Brazil almost evenly split between his supporters and those of his predecessor, Jair Bolsonaro. Jeremy House reporting.
Turkey's state-run news agency says authorities have detained 33 people suspected of spying on behalf of Israel. The news agency says authorities are still searching for 13 others believed to have links to Israel's security service. News and analysis at townhall.com. A foreign exchange student from China reported missing last week in Utah has been found in what authorities say was an apparent cyber kidnapping scheme to extort $80,000 from his family.
The 17-year-old student was reported missing Friday, a day after he was last seen at the home where he had been staying. Police initially believed the student had been forcefully taken from his home, but on Sunday night, they found him safe in a tent about 25 miles away. Police say he was convinced that his family in China was threatened and that he needed to isolate himself. Meanwhile, his family received a ransom note and a photograph of the student that made it appear that he had been abducted and was in danger. The family paid the $80,000 ransom before he was found. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The death toll from the powerful earthquakes that hit west central Japan has risen to 55, with more than a dozen other people seriously injured. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy New Year. Happy Tuesday.
2024.
It is Tuesday.
Yes,
It's not Monday, just so you know.
Did you consume your black-eyed peas yesterday?
No.
Did you do any of those weird New Year's traditions?
I don't think I did. I'm trying to think if I did anything over the course of the weekend, and I don't think I did.
I always gauge how my last year was and if I did or didn't eat black-eyed peas that January 1st. Like last year was, I mean, it was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad by any stretch. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I don't think I did on January 1st of 2023. So I didn't this year specifically because of that.
And I usually don't. Occasionally my wife will say here, and I'll eat a spoonful, because I don't like black-eyed peas.
Not a fan of Fergie Ferg?
I will eat them in things, or if someone says here, eat this, but you'll never hear me say I could go for a big old bowl of black-eyed.
It's certainly not on my top 5 beans. That being said, I'll be right back.
All right. But I'm not a fan of the black-eyed, the vegetable, not the band. I'm indifferent to. That's fine. I could care less. But no, I generally don't go down that road. So I had the regular foods of the day. But Happy New Year, everybody. Hope all of you are having a delightful 2024 thus far. Good news is, it's ice cream of some kind.
It is. So I sort of, go ahead.
So I hope you all are having a delightful 2024 thus far.
Indeed. I sort of lied earlier when I said that I procured something in Oklahoma. I learned of something in Oklahoma and had it procured locally.
Okay.
So I've had ice cream from this company before. We have in the past on this radio program, but the and I think it's called Van Leeuwen or something like that.
Okay.
They tend to put out interesting flavors.
Uh-oh.
Well, their new ones are out, and one of them, which I did not procure yet, is dill pickle, and the other one is this flavor right here.
Mac and cheese?
Kraft mac and cheese flavored ice cream.
Oh, this is going to be gross.
It's French ice cream, in fact. I'm not sure what makes it French, but so Kraft mac and cheese flavored ice cream.
All right.
So I thought as soon as this happens, I should definitely bring it to the to share with my friends and family. And I'm going to try to get this going on video so I can actually record this.
All right. So this is not just mac and cheese.
No.
But
it is mac and cheese
Kraft
flavored, yes.
Mac and cheese.
Kraft mac and cheese flavored ice cream, yes.
All right. So
All
not
right.
homemade.
So with that in mind, I'm going to present the cover here. And I brought spoons in case Jocelyn wants to try some herself.
What is the color? It is yellow. It is the yellow of mac and cheese.
The Kraft yellow. And this is a clear color cover, so this is the color of the ice cream.
All right. That does not make me feel better. I was hoping it'd be more vanilla, and it's not.
It really should not. All right.
Does it smell like macaroni?
There's no smell. I have left this out to thaw for a little while.
Okay.
So no smell there. But I'm going to take a spoonful and I'll let you yell it. Ooh, it's nice and soft now. All right. So here's this.
All right.
And I will pass the spoon.
It doesn't smell like mac and cheese.
It doesn't smell like really anything. And there's no like weird consistency or chunkiness to it.
It is soft.
It's almost sherbet consistency.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, would you like to jump in? Would you like some of this hot fire? All right.
All right.
No smell, like I said, and it's hard to smell cold things anyways, but all right. We got a little spoonful here. All right, Kraft mac and cheese.
I'm trying to get
flavored
a hint
ice cream
before putting it in my mouth of what I'm to expect. All right, here we go.
All right. Ooh. It's sweet, and then there's that Kraft. It's not mac and it just tastes like cheese. Like somebody put a cheese packet in a vanilla ice cream, or
like the mac and cheese packet.
It's not unbearable.
It's not disgusting, but I don't know if I'd call it good.
It's not good.
either.
Oh, it's not good by any stretch of the imagination, no. But it's not unbearable. Like I'm going back for a second spoonful just to try to get an idea.
It tastes very dairy.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
It's very dairy. I don't even know if I'd call it cheese.
It's like if somebody makes sweetened condensed milk into mac and cheese.
Yeah. It's almost like it's almost like a cream cheesy kind
You know what? Yeah, like a cheesecake.
Yeah.
Kind of. But more cheese flavored cheesecake.
Like if
Going back
someone
for
tried to make
words.
cheesecake and did an awful job of it.
Right. I used Kraft singles.
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought. That's what when they said cheesecake. That's what I thought it meant.
That's kind of what I'm getting.
That's
It is not the grossest thing I've had, but I don't want a second helping of it. That's more than enough.
Van Leeuwen, you people need to be stopped. I mean, I'm gonna come back for more. When I see weird flavors, I'm gonna try them.
To me, it just takes two of God's most wonderful creations, that is mac and cheese and ice cream, and puts them together thinking it is also one of God's wonderful creations. It is not.
It's
basically
really something.
Taking two amazing things and proving that two good things don't always equal one good thing.
Just because America can doesn't mean that America should.
Right. Yeah, that is not something I'd recommend
So there you go. Kraft mac and cheese ice cream. Ask for it by name or don't.
Yeah.
Or just don't.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't want ice cream nor mac and cheese for a while.
Yeah, it's sort of
it's turned me off on both for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm glad they only sell these in pints because I don't see anybody rushing.
I ain't
back
gonna lie.
with a half gallon.
the aftertaste is worse.
It is. It hangs in the back of the throat, kind of.
Yeah. Like I want it to go away, and it won't. Now it tastes like old milk and meat. Oh.
Just next time you have that blue box mac and cheese, just open that packet and just sprinkle a little bit in your mouth. And then have a swig of milk.
Now, in all fairness, like the smell and what my breath feels like now feels like mac and cheese. like I just ate some of the Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah. It definitely finishes.
It finishes that way. Like I feel like I just ate it, but I didn't get the joy of savoring mac and cheese. I just got the after effects, which that's not the best part.
It's definitely yeah.
I wonder if I put ketchup on that, if it'd be better.
I should have brought you some ketchup. Doggone it. That's just inconsiderate of me as a friend. Doggone.
Wow. Well, we're gonna replay our interview we had with Amy McVeigh-Tejas.
Yes.
Which is not as good as that. I'm just kidding.
I'll set this aside in case anybody wants some later.
But please say that didn't set the bar very high. But we're gonna play an interview. She joined us on Friday. Gosh, I really need some water. That does not leave a good taste. It's just like I want to go brush my teeth. It's that gross. Anyway, Amy McVeigh-Tejas joined us on Friday to kind of recap 2023 and talk about what's going on in 2024. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a bit. Before we do that, though, let's take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few rain or snow showers today. We have a little low pressure system working its way through our area. Low 50s on the afternoon high, and then tonight things clear up. Our overnight low pretty cold in the upper 20s. We'll be getting plenty of sunshine on Wednesday with our afternoon high hitting the mid 50s, and then maybe a few more rain showers coming up on Thursday, 55. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 39 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 65% with winds calm at the moment. They're saying there's a chance at some rain this morning till about noon today. There's a 20% chance we could see some rain, but an 80% chance we won't. So we'll see. Partly cloudy, 52 for a high today. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. For tonight, mostly clear skies. Expect an overnight low of 25 degrees. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, 57 for a high. Winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, there is a 20% chance at showers, partly cloudy, 51 for a high. Friday, sunny. Expect highs near 50. For the weekend, Saturday, we're looking at sunny skies, 51 for a high. Mostly sunny Sunday with a high of 56. Rain chances and snow chances enter the forecast on Monday of next week. So we'll see how that shapes up. But looks like we got a little bit of chance of rain Thursday, and we'll see. Maybe for Monday and Sunday night, there's a slight chance. Maybe we'll see. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, then we're going to play our interview with Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society. Don't go away.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Ring in the new year at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires. Now through January 7th, save up to $140 on select sets of tires after mail-in rebate. Also, take advantage of our Winter Healthy Car Special for just $29.95. The savings won't last, so make an appointment online or visit your local Roswell Big O Tires today. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Hey neighbors, there's a new source for all your appliance needs in the area. We're Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new minor scratch and dent appliances, and we'll help you save 40 to 60% off of MSRP. All come with warranty and personalized service. We also offer parts and service for your existing household appliances. We offer financing and delivery options as well. Don't make that big box store mistake. Come see us at Roswell Appliance Outlet today at 600 South Main in Roswell, or call 575-363-9236.
Roswell Appliance Outlet, a proud supporter of Roswell Sports.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion. Unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
East New Mexico. Amy McVeigh-Tejas back with us. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas. Happy New
Yay!
Year.
Happy
Yeah. And good morning. It is 9:28, and joining us in studio this morning from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, Amy McVeigh-Tejas back with us. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas. Happy New
Yay!
Year.
Happy
I think it was before
holidays.
Christmas. I think I saw
I know
you,
it's
so.
been a while.
How was your
Everybody
holiday?
says I'm always on the radio all the time, but I think it's been a while.
Well, we had
a really good holiday.
Holidays and everyone doing things.
Shout out to my husband. He says we celebrate Christmas and the holidays more than any family he's ever known. But you know what? I don't know. It's a great time just to be festive, enjoy friends, family. And
I've never heard someone say, we've had too much celebration, too much
exactly.
We're too happy. We're too,
We've had too much
fun this week.
We've had
we got to reel that in a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, no one says that.
So shout out, we're going to celebrate more this weekend. So there you go.
Good deal. That's good. But of course, since we last spoke, we had our volunteer Christmas party, and had a great turnout for that.
Yes.
And
you know what? It was funny, and I don't believe your wife wasn't able to make it for the first time. And shout out to our Secret Santa and Mrs. Claus, Gary and Kathy, for making that possible. So a private donor straight up wrote a check and said, we want you to bless your amazing volunteers. And what a blessing, right? But Mike, we almost did too good, because I believe we had over 50 people. We ran out of plates. We were using fall things. We almost ran out of food. And
that's
Mike,
a good problem to have.
Usually we have like baked goods that we put in trays and like bring to 106.5.
Take home, yeah.
If you're wondering why y'all didn't get the blessings,
Good.
we had a great turnout.
The people that should get the blessings got the blessings.
That's exactly
the good
right. So huge shout out to all of our volunteers. It was a great event.
And we thank you, every single one, because we would not be able to even have that historical society or anything without it, without the hard work and volunteer and dedication of those volunteers.
It's true. And we have a lot of silent servants. We have people serving and blessing behind the scenes. You would never see their face. You would never know their name.
And they don't want to. But they get kind of salty when we
hearing the
recognize
needs.
them.
They're seeing the needs. And they said, what do you need? Here it is. And we need that. And we would not exist without it. So huge shout out to everybody. And we are still celebrating the holidays. Our museum is beautiful. And please call the museum at 622-2833. We're going to be decorated till the second week in January.
Okay.
So if you say, you've kind of collected yourself, you've cleaned the house, you've celebrated the holidays, come to us and see the beautiful
museum. And I
museum.
know some of you out there, you organized planner people types, you out there, some of you out there that you're thinking, let's go and do our Christmas photos for next year.
There you go.
Now.
There you go.
And now the Christmas is over and everyone's done. And you're like, hey, we can go to the Historical Society, maybe do a family photo on the porch there with the Christmas lights still up. And guess what? Our photo's ready, and we could get out our Christmas cards like right after Halloween now.
So you're going to be ahead of the game. We did, and we did. I did that with my sweet little family, and we had a great time. And we even did a pajama photo. That's hot and popular. So please, 622-8333, Miss Jane, Melanie, Fred. We've got a lot of tour guides.
If you still got family in town and you're looking for some activities, do call. Thanks to our docents, our volunteers, we can, and we do private personalized tours now. So you just call, make an appointment time, and we'll meet you there, and you'll get a personalized tour. And don't tell nobody, but it's kind of a little better than the old way. Just saying, it's a little more personal.
That's right. If you want to come a little early, Miss Jane's gonna connect with you. If you want to come a little later, Fred, we've got it both ways.
We have amazing volunteers and docents, but if you do get Miss Jane, it's kind of a bonus a little bit.
It is bonus.
Yeah, she's so. Hey, she's a one of our biggest, hugest volunteers and servers, but she's a very good tour guide and has a lot of information about
She
that place
really,
too,
really
so,
does.
yeah.
So 622-8333, or you can text me right now or get me direct at 575-915-4471. I do believe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day we will not be available. But again, we will stay decorated till the second week in January, and pretty much morning to evening, we're all in.
We're all going to be broke.
We just need 24 hours.
Yeah. And we're all going to be broke next week.
Right.
We're all going to be like, dang, when's tax return
Right,
here? We're all going to be broke.
Exactly.
So you're looking for cheap or free things to
That's
do.
right.
We're
That's
pretty
right.
cheap. You give us a donation. You got $20, whatever, whatever you can afford.
Yep.
And we're going to treat you to an awesome experience.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
But again, I cannot thank those volunteers enough.
sure.
Every single one. To the ones that come and help in the archive, to the ones that give the tours, to the ones that show up at every one of our school tours or community events, to the ones that just serve by landscaping or doing repair work or whatever needs to be done to that facility. Every single person that's had a hand on that place has been a godsend.
That's right. We've got college kids coming home calling saying, "Can I help during the holidays?"
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. So whether it's an hour, minute, money,
well, part of that too
prayer,
is what we as our board and board members before us and people before you and I that came here, establishing what we do with that historical society, and there is literally generations of youth and things that have gone up through the historical society. We got quite a great little track record thanks to some of our donators of years of students that have gotten scholarships and have gone on to do amazing things and are doing it continuing, and they come back and part of the fold or part of the family, and that's part of, like you said, how can we help? Because they said, 10 years ago you helped me through college, and now I'm here in the area and I want to come back and maybe we're even been around long enough where some of these kids have kids.
They do. We changed our security service, and it was down in Artesia.
Yeah.
And Felix answered the phone, and I'm like, Felix was my boy. It hasn't been that many years. Yes, ma'am, Miss Tess, I have 3 kids. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have been with the Historical Society over 10 years.
That's like my wife. She's been teaching for 20 plus years. And like one day there was a police officer that came, and I was like, Mrs. She's like, Mrs. He's like, we didn't break any laws. And it's like, oh, no, that was Kim's student. Second grade
so awesome.
student from years ago. Yeah, she's got grand students now too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's when you feel real old.
Older. We're just vintage, we're just getting to our prime.
Like Back to the Future's still cool. Don't
We're like the wine, though. We age and we keep getting better and better. Yeah, that's right.
Mine's got a bit of a bitter taste, just a little bit.
It's got a kick to it.
That's right. It's got a kick.
That Mike Winters wine, it'll just kick it.
They hint of vinegar at the end
it'll just kick you real quick. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome.
But that's and to be honest, I like doing what I do and all that, but to me that's the coolest thing is when you see like these folks that were involved 10 years ago or 20 years ago as kids, and they come back and now they've got their families and they're kind of living their own lives and giving it back and doing their thing, and granted it's all on them. But it's always nice to say, and deep down there, we played a little role in helping.
Just a little bit.
Keeping that person on the path a little bit.
As
like
Christina and I believe we're super connecting. We're just connecting one more dot in that big art piece of art palette. But I did bring my list, and I do want to just mention some fun things. You challenge. Wow, Mike. So that day that we did so well with the volunteer party, that very night is when Jason and I went. So we were.
Yeah, you literally had to get from the party. They were still in their cocktail dresses.
We were.
Jason was too.
Well, Jason was like Superman. He went into the bathroom of the volunteer party and came out with his uniform. And I think it was Elaine that said, "Dang!"
It's like Superman in the phone booth.
So, and I think one of my close memories out there at New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy is. Tina Cisneros and others on the head panel referred to us as life changers. And I am honored to resemble that remark, even if it's a little bit. Sure. So what a privilege that Troy Hayes and F.M. Nelson made possible. And I just want to read the names because, Mike, there was, every graduation cycle, every once in a while I'll feel some male power. Well, then we'll feel the female power. Some men were coming in strong.
Okay.
I believe most of our scholarship recipients, ironically, will be attending New Mexico Institute.
Oh, so they might get to see Jason a little more than they realize.
Yes, so we're really, really excited.
Good.
Our top recipient, and he will be attending New Mexico Military Institute, is Brian Joseph Thomas.
All right.
He received a $1,000 scholarship.
And these are all high school seniors for this scholarship.
They are graduates of the New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy.
Yes.
And I think, Mike, one of these individuals had an extremely high set score.
Good.
Man, they were breaking some records.
Good deal.
So these are New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy scholarship recipients, and I don't believe most of them were from Roswell.
Okay.
I know one of them was from Alamogordo. They I believe all of them were in the New Mexico area, but I do not believe they were from Roswell. So again, Brian Joseph Thomas is a New Mexico Youth Challenge graduate, $1,000 scholarship on behalf of the Historical Society.
Cool.
Seth James Ketching, special young man. He even stated never even dreamed any of this would be possible, and he calls us his family now.
That's awesome.
And so he high-fived us. And
These
said
are
he was,
young people that got direction in their lives, and now the sky's the limit for them.
So Seth James Ketching got a $500 scholarship, Emmanuel Torres $500, and Marco Martinez. If you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we'll be posting these images, and we just want you to see their faces. These were life-changing opportunities, and we just want to give a shout out. I know Tina Cisneros received an award also. They're in the life-changing business out there, and they're doing great things. I think that they're one of our gems that we need to let them shine a little bit more. I don't know that they get the credit that they deserve out there.
It's really one of those few places in town where miracles happen every day, and it flies under the radar for most.
Wow, and they've got great plans to even advance and do great things. So shout out and high five from the Mexico Youth Challenge.
And those
Academy.
students that are going on to the New Mexico Military Institute from Youth Challenge, they should. I bet they're going to do pretty well since coming from Youth Challenge, there is a military style discipline and regime
They're doing
to that.
some life changing of their own, Mike. I think there were 9 out of 50. So we were talking like almost a fifth of the class was going to New Mexico Military Institute. So shout out to
that group
both
of freshmen.
entities.
They might be because imagine especially if the kids don't have any kind of military background and they go the first time to the institute.
Oh yeah,
that's an eye-opening experience for those folks because you're really changing. Whereas Youth Challenge, these young men and women, they've already experienced some of that in their lives, so they're kind of already in that mode. So they're probably going to get there, and they're going to turn to be the leaders probably for that freshman class.
I really think that is true.
When they're when they're trying to show these kids how to keep their uniform straight and get their rooms in order and inspection order and all that. Youth Challenge kids are like, shoot, this is old hat for us.
Well, and you know what was so cool, and shout out to New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy, one of the last actions they took the day before their award ceremony was taking a tour of the Historical Society, every dadgum one of them. And it was so cool that we were talking about the sovereign ground that they were on is so historical. Then we were making the rah-rah connections of potential, and we were even making those connections. You may be one of those kids to make a connection. So sky's the limit. That's a great opportunity. If you are listening and want to be part of the 2024 New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy and or high school senior scholarships, please donate now. We're having to make those hard budget decisions to know how much money we've got for New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy, how much money we have for high school seniors.
It is a bit of a dance.
It's a dance and a privilege and an honor, but it's not easy. And Troy Hayes was just calling, and we were talking about budget and stuff. So we need more money.
And for transparency reasons and everything else, there's a lot of kind of red tape, so to speak, that you have to do for the better, for the good, because, we have nothing but good intentions, but unfortunately, there are people in this world that use platforms like this to do nefarious stuff.
Yes.
So there's usually red tape for us to kind of prevent that from happening, which does create headaches and things. But you know what? The juice is so worth the squeeze on this.
It is.
And so we're so glad and we're so thankful for the Troy Hayeses and these other great people that say, hey, I want to use you guys as the conduit to say these kids need a chance, and I want to help them and their trust in us to do that is an honor.
We take it seriously. It's serious money. Names aren't, they're numbers, and we do spreadsheets and we tally everything up. And all Troy did, the other day was call and say, do you have enough money? And, I jokingly know it's never enough money. But the challenge is out there. If you just want to impact lives, be a life changer, and you do nothing but text or call us and make a one-time donation, and that money is utilized, secured. Yeah. It is in a separate account. And huge shout out, I'm going to say that name, huge shout out to Steve Harris. He's amazing at Edward Jones because he helps our pennies turn into quarters and our quarters turn into dollars. And before you know it, we have another scholarship. And that's what it's all about.
Well, because of him, we only have to do 1 or 2 drive-through fundraisers here, not 50.
That's so funny. Well, that's true. And I was just making the list for next year. Here we go again.
Speaking
of,
that's
true.
But, since we're talking about scholarships and things, but for all you high school seniors out there, now that we're getting through the Christmas break,
that's right.
We're starting into the spring semester. Guess what? Graduation is a hop, skip, and a jump away.
It really is.
It is now's the time to maybe start percolating if you're interested in applying for the 2024 scholarships for high school seniors. They're pretty much going to be close to what they were last year, give or take a little bit.
They will go live on our website on February 1st. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or RoswellNMHistory.org.
Yeah, but now's the time to start kind of percolating because there is some prerequisites. You have to write an essay and things, and it is a competition, so you got to put your best foot forward here. So now's the time to maybe. I know, I get it. Some of y'all are like, when's the deadline?
Oh,
2 days out. That's when I'll start working.
It's
I know.
Amazing. We'll have like 10 applications, and I'll look at about 11 when the deadline literally closes at 12. And we'll double, quadruple, or even more at the end. It is true.
We are procrastinators by nature, but now's at least if you're not ready to write, start thinking about your theme. Start thinking about the content you want to get in there. Yeah. Maybe start making your, I don't know the fancy ways nowadays, like make your outline or whatever you do to prep to write your paper. I know there's different methods on how to teach that stuff. So.
And let me say this, if you're a high school senior and want to start volunteering at the Historical Society, to me, that's bonus points. And if you want to get involved, it is. Have fun. And then we'll connect you with Teen Leadership because you and I both are honored to be part of Leadership Roswell Alumni Association. Teen Leadership Institute will be coming up in March or April. We haven't set the dates. I think it's April. And that's that time, too.
And here's the thing about that. New Mexico Military Institute, once again, always partners with the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association to make that event the best event ever.
And I will say it's going to look a little bit different this year. We're not going to be on that property as much.
Okay.
We're going to be doing a little bit more. To me, this year, Mike, which is a great concept, we're going to do like a mini Leadership Roswell kind of concept.
All right.
We're going to get these kids out a little bit
So they're going to
more.
go to different destinations
They will.
throughout the
and I think it's
3 days
unique because we were saying, it's a little teaser for Leadership Roswell. So we have been making contacts with a lot of different entities to, I think, get out a little bit more in the community, which these darn kids that are doing so many things haven't been able to do that.
Well,
so I think we're going to get out a little bit more.
And this is where I always recommend, things like teen leadership. When I grew up as a kid, I was involved in scouting. That was from Cub Scouts till I was 21 years old, I was involved in scouting. For me, that's where I got a lot of that kind of stuff. But if you don't have your child in that kind of thing, then guess what? This is the perfect thing for that. The Leadership Academy, because I'm telling you, everything I see in that is stuff that was, or parts of it were introduced to me in scouting and through those. So, and they're all skills that will serve your child well as an adult. Doesn't matter if they join the military or if they are a garbage man or an architect. It doesn't matter. The skill sets they use will be life skills. Things like how to work with a group of people, how to be an effective leader, how to know when to hold them.
Follower and not
when
leader.
When to quote the great Kenny Rogers, when to walk away, when to run, when to hold them, to fold them. That's kind of, that leadership
And I think it's
stuff.
kind of a little bit of a bad rap. I think some are intimidated thinking it's more of an athletic type thing. And it's ironically quite the opposite.
Yeah. It's not about athletic skill. It's about getting a group of people thinking and working together to get through a challenge.
It's really more mind over matter. and just being an all-around great.
To be honest, it's more about collect. Yes, they're trying to get you over a wall or something.
Exactly.
But it's not about your physical prowess. It's like, how do we get 15 people all over the wall?
That's right.
Including the one in the wheelchair.
Exactly.
That's how we do it. That's the point.
And you know what? There's life lessons involved, whether you win a scholarship or not. So get involved. A lot going on. Follow RoswellNMHistory.org to learn more about our high school scholarships. I do believe there will be over $10,000 available through those scholarships. We'll go live after February 1st. It's time to start planning school tours. If you're listening, if you're retired,
that's a couple months away too.
Oh my goodness, it
April
really all happens.
You know it.
Yes, it all happens at once. Yeah, all of them. So if you want to be part of school tours, to be a volunteer or get involved, we're working right now with the school district. The biggest thing is finding that 2-week threshold to get all these amazing fourth graders from the Roswell Independent School District and Dexter and high school and homeschoolers all involved. So if you want to be more involved, if you just wanted to make a contribution to allow to help us with our sponsorships, when you have 1,000 fourth graders, they all get backpacks. They all do all of these
They're
type
all making
items.
butter and doing the fun activities.
So if you wanted to, nothing but become a sponsor, call the museum at 622-8333. It really gets exciting when you start. It's my favorite time of the year. It's really
It's a lot
exciting.
of prep work, but once the event happens and you see the kids doing the thing and having fun, you're like,
oh yes.
Okay, now now it's worth
goodness,
it. You know,
that's the good stuff.
But yeah, I get it. You're like, how many more rolls of paper towels do I got to collect?
Toilet paper, paper towels, water, whether it's milk, butter, all these things. We need it all. We need help. So that's really, really exciting. A couple of new things, Mike. I sent you a couple of emails, and I hope that it's one thing's related to food, and I'm like, okay, Mike Winters is going to be all over it with it. It's food. Mike Winters. Mike Winters will be there.
Matter of fact, I got a cast iron pot just sitting here that's coming home because that's another food-related conversation.
That's awesome. So huge shout out to Texas Roadhouse. We will dine to donate and support the Historical Society. Mark your calendars on Tuesday, February 20th. From 3 to 10 p.m., Amazing Texas Roadhouse will give 10% of the donation. You have to say, I'm supporting the Historical Society. So on that night, from 3 to 10, if you go in,
don't worry, we're going to be screaming from the rooftops like, hey, go have dinner tonight at Texas Roadhouse. Go tell them it's for the Historical Society. And whether you do it, I guess it works to go or dine in,
well,
right?
And that's a good question that I don't know. I believe all purchases are total food purchase. So, example, if you got something to go, I believe you have to hand your receipt to the front desk and say, here's my receipt. I support the Historical Society. So, I believe that's the way it works.
So, if you don't want to sit down and eat, please do it that way and that way.
That's right.
Because I get you. I love going in there and saying, and then they hand me a bag of steaks and I leave. That's an amazing day when that happens. So, and I get it. You love doing that, but make sure you do say, hey, here's my receipt. I want to make sure my proceeds go to the Historical Society.
That's exactly right. So Tuesday, February 20th, 10% of donation that night. If you say we support the Historical Society, will go to the Historical Society. And huge shout out to Texas Roadhouse.
And to be honest,
we really appreciate that.
I don't know how they pull it off because they give you big old steak dinners. And and I ain't gonna lie, it's way less expensive than I think it's gonna be. Like
it's
true. Like I go there
knowing
and I think,
all the food.
oh man, I'm gonna drop $100 for this dinner, and then I see the bill and it's $60 or $50. I'm like, wow, that's so cheap. Bless you. That is so cheap for the amount of food I got here.
Oh, and while I'm thinking about it,
I don't know how they make money, but they do. So.
Ralph and I went to Texas Roadhouse, and I don't know who our silent angel was, but they picked up our tab. If you're listening, shout out. We appreciate that. So then now we're going to pay it forward. Ralph and I are. So again, it's just good stuff. It's during the holiday season, good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, mark your calendar for donating blood.
Yeah, that'll be in March here.
Yes, that's exactly right. So mark your calendar. People call me all the time, and while we're talking about these things, if you get out your phone and put it on the calendar, you'll remember. So make sure and do February 20th, Texas Roadhouse, March the 5th, donating blood.
Well, and I know
the blood mobile will be at the Historical Society.
And because usually our blood donors, especially our regulars, they can donate whatever 45 days or whatever the window is.
That's right.
So we want to get this out ahead of time.
That's right.
So they can plan accordingly. So you say, okay, if you need to donate now,
Yes.
That way you're
somebody
good
was just doing
in
that.
March
That's
here.
why it's so
So,
important. And I think we get lax with that and we don't keep our calendars and we could do it more often. As
Sure.
a matter of fact, that includes myself. I need to do that. So mark your calendar and align March the 5th with Historical
And to be
Society.
honest, donating blood is the easiest thing
Yes.
you can do that has
It
the
is.
biggest impact for the least amount of effort on your part, if that makes sense. Like,
For sure.
At the end of the day, you're just sitting there letting someone take a pint of blood out of you, and then they treat you to cookies and all that. But you're literally saving a life doing that.
Yes.
Within about a week of time, that blood that they're pulling from your arm is going to be in a hospital somewhere contributing to someone who needs it at that moment.
It's so true.
Could be a life-saving surgery. It could be a car accident. Could be any number of things, but that you save lives. And unfortunately, they're never at a point where they say, you know what, we're good to go. They're always in demand. During break times, like Christmas and the summer, are slower because schools, believe it or not, are one of the biggest donors of blood.
Right.
So
Those large
like we'll do a one
institutions,
here in March, but really the one we'll probably do around June, July time frame.
Right.
That one will be even more desperate because there's less donors
That's
generally
right.
donating
It's
at
a
that
big deal.
time. So if you can get on the regular schedule where every
Yes.
45 days or every couple months, you can go and make an appointment somewhere to donate blood and kind of work it. And all I'm saying, Amy spoils people when they
There's all
donate blood with
blessings,
us.
right.
She'll call
Sure.
blessing. She spoils them with cookies.
Yes,
And if you walk out of there
yes.
empty-handed,
Yeah.
it's because you snuck out of there
That's
and
my
ran.
that's the honor of my grandmother Ada.
So-
Ada Mashaw, you could not leave her house without your hands full.
Yeah.
Boom! I learned that from my grandmother.
Well, so I'm just saying it might behoove you to work your schedule
sure.
to make sure
Worth
that
our
you're available
blessings
to
then.
donate blood in March during the Historical Society's blood drive.
And nothing it is better than looking at your text and saying, thank you for saving a life. You just saved a life and wherever. Man, and every time I get that, Mike, I'm like down and out. I'm missing my mom. And then you get that and you think, you know what, guys, it's not about us. It's about so much greater. So I was asked this, and I always get asked these crazy questions. Mike, I always get asked, what does the Historical Society have to do with donating blood? Guys, we are an organization that we believe it's not
We're a
about
community-based
us.
organization. We're a
We
service organization,
are.
and this
We
is service,
are.
what we do.
Oh, and thank you for mentioning service because it automatically reminded me. Over the holidays to date, I believe we've donated over 350 children's books in honor of Mary Lou Glass.
Keep it
we
coming.
took some to the community kitchen. Shout out to Brad and them. They're amazing. They're part of our family. You know, they're our extended family. They
and you
need
can always
food.
bring
They
us
need
food.
help.
Like if you got canned foods and
Yes.
stuff, don't know what to do with it,
Brad's
give it to
amazing.
us. We'll make sure it gets
Not
over
too
to the
long ago,
community
somebody
kitchen.
just brought me some cash and said, "Hey, yes,
Yeah.
yes." So, and
We'll
then,
take all of that and make
then
sure
we
it gets
also took a large group of books right before the open house to the after-school program, the Working Mother's Day Nursery. Huge shout out to Del Journey
Love
and
that.
them. So it is not over. We will, as far as I'm concerned, we will not stop collecting loose change. And we will not stop collecting kids' books. Every kid book, when you open it, will have a sticker saying, donated in honor of Mary Lou Glass, silent servant. So bring your books. During the holidays, if you're home with your kids, clean out the books. We want new or slightly used books. I just saw Amazon had a great deal. I could get 50 books for so much money.
Yeah.
Give us a call. Huge shout out to Pat and so many that helped make that possible. I mean, Pat brought boxes.
That's
like
great.
good books.
Well,
and we're like, oh my goodness. I mean, like good books.
That's great, and that's the beauty of kids' books too, is because at some point they outgrow them, but the books are still there, so that's given to
and
the
that's
next
the way
generation.
her family kind of
Yeah.
goes, we don't want to let go of this book. But so please call the museum. We'll even pick them up. So if you have 2 big boxes of books, call 622-8333, slightly used or new books.
Good deal.
Yes.
You know,
Good
book
stuff.
when I was like 4th and 5th grade, I will tell you right now, it's almost out of time. I can't really do it. My most favorite books ever that I checked out at the library from school, like every other week, was the Shel Silverstein books, Where the Sidewalk Ends, and his other book, A Lighthouse in the Attic, I think is what it was called. And it was
good
him doing
stuff.
doing those kind of Dr. Seuss like poems.
Yes,
And as a
the
kid,
good stuff
you know,
that you just don't forget.
but
it's memorable.
But he used to slip in like boogers every once in a while or something. And as a 4th grader, you read the word booger in a book, man. You're a party
hey,
kid.
it's right there. It gets to your heart.
It's like, it says booger. He said green
They
gravelly
said
booger.
that. They
Yeah.
said that in a book. like, that's okay.
But those are my favorite ones. I used to always check out. So
awesome.
I hope there's one or two of those in the
just
pile.
before we get off the air, don't forget it's membership time. January 1 is generally membership renewal time.
So renew
your
or if you want to
memberships.
become a member, this is a good time to do that. They have different levels. You can do it individually as a married couple,
$30 up to $1,000
as a business or
You could be a
corporate,
scholarship membership. And last but not least, shout out to Sandra. I was praying, Mike, I'm retail based. I prayed for $3,000 more to get us where we, boom, Sandra donated $2,000 last night. Special thank you to Sandra. It's just special. And, great things happen when we all work together. So I really, really appreciate you can make donations online, purchase books, herd prints, all of that.
Yeah,
or just renew
if you
for every
Christmas,
penny. That's true.
Christmas,
That's true. We'd even deliver. And we have done that before. We have wrapped and delivered.
Yeah.
And there's a special man out there. I'll just call him Mr. A. He always does that, Mike, and we always come through for him.
Awesome.
We do.
Good.
We do.
Well,
We'll wrap it.
And then when you botch Valentine's Day, then we'll help you out with
That's good for
Texas
me.
Roadhouse on the
That's
20th.
That's true. You tried the week after. See, it can just keep on celebrating.
Exactly. Well, we've been bailing you out since 1902.
And huge shout out to Poke Horn, celebrating history.
Yeah,
and all those
final day of basketball.
That's
Get
the
to the
legacy,
gym.
honoring the history. So huge shout out.
Final day of basketball action at both Goddard and Roswell today here for the Poke
It's
Horn.
great time of the year. Hook 'em.
Deal.
Go Longhorns. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you guys. We really appreciate it.
And we'll see
Good
you
job with all you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You too, and we'll see you in 2024.
Oh, my goodness.
See you in a year. All right, 9:59. Quick break before No Mas Radio Show. Don't go away.
In Ward 1, Will Caven in Ward 2, Matthew Chappelle in Ward 3, Darrell Johnson in Ward 4, and finally in Ward 5, Carlos Marujo Jr. Also sworn in was Municipal Judge Joe Seski. A traffic alert for you. Short portions of North Pennsylvania Avenue and West 3rd Street in Roswell would be closed in the area of the intersection of those streets on Wednesday, January 3rd, beginning at 5 in the morning and continuing throughout the day until the evening time. The closures are to accommodate a crew that's replacing heating and cooling units on the roof of a local bank. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines this hour. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I don't like the city. I hate the city. I think it's an absolute Adam shithole. And it just is. And it's not safe, and it's not secure. And by the way, it's not especially not a safe place for me. If you're in any other state but New York, and you think it's a big deal to come visit New York, don't. It's a waste of your time.
Well, that's untrue, unless you're coming to the Hannity Town Hall, and therefore you build your vacation around visiting.
People are doing that.
And therefore, we support that trip.
Or if you want some free crack pipes.
That
took a turn. Okay.
And you can get free Narcan and free condoms, and you get lubricant as well. And what else were they offering?
3 o'clock. Here we are.
Check out the Sean Hannity Radio Show later today, right here.
More than 200 fire department jurisdictions trust the Knox entry system to provide secure access to buildings, elevators, and control rooms when seconds matter. Now, businesses, schools, airports, several industrial applications are also using Knox entry to manage controlled access and authorize service activity for critical assets. Now, Knox entry allows you to develop a customized access strategy complete with an audit trail and rapid flexibility. Just go to Knox.com for more information. That's KNOX.com.
Does your current trophy wife want a life insurance policy 3 times the size of your previous mistakes? Relax and call Big Lou at Term Provider. Big Lou says if you're in your 50s, even a bit porky, a $1 million term life policy should only cost about $200 to $300 per month. Call Big Lou at 800-529-2856. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He likes trophies, too. For affordable life insurance, call 800-529-2856.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We could get a few rain or snow showers today. We have a little low pressure system working its way through our area. Low 50s on the afternoon high, and then tonight things clear up. Our overnight low pretty cold in the upper 20s. We'll be getting plenty of sunshine on Wednesday with our afternoon high hitting the mid 50s, and then maybe a few more rain showers coming up on Thursday, 55. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street opened sharply lower on this first trading day of the new year. Global shares also fell, while Bitcoin has risen to a two-year high. U.S. benchmark crude oil gained $1.66 to $73.31 per barrel in electronic trading on the New York Mercantile Exchange. Traders and investors anticipate a trove of employment data this week. The government reports on November job openings tomorrow. Weekly jobless claims on Thursday, and the closely watched December jobs report is due on Friday. Even though electric vehicle manufacturer Rivian more than doubled the number of vehicles delivered last year, it was still less than analysts were forecasting, and that sent Rivian stock lower. EV maker Tesla reports delivering 484,500 vehicles in the fourth quarter. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The need to grow past our basic capabilities and experience the impossible will forever keep aviation technology evolving. Within the Aviation Maintenance Technology program at ENMU Roswell, students thrive knowing that the faculty and community are supporting their success. ENMU Roswell is dedicated to empowering students through hands-on skills training in a nurturing environment. To learn more, contact us today.
Hey neighbors, there's a new source for all your appliance needs in the area. We're Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new minor scratch and dent appliances, and we'll help you save 40 to 60% off of MSRP. All come with warranty and personalized service. We also offer parts and service for your existing household appliances. We offer financing and delivery options as well. Don't make that big box store mistake. Come see us at Roswell Appliance Outlet today at 600 South Main in Roswell, or call 575-363-9236.
Roswell Appliance Outlet, a proud supporter of Roswell Sports.
Life is better when you can just be. Be yourself. Be worry-free. Be at your best. Now you can be confident knowing the health insurance you find through Be Well & M has you covered for checkups, prescriptions, and more. Be Well & M can help connect you to a plan that may cost as little as $10 a month. It's time for you to be happy, be healthy, be insured. Let Be Well & M connect you to a health plan that's right for you and your wallet, so you can just be. Call 1-833-2-BE-WELL or visit BeWellNM.com.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
Ring in the new year at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires. Now through January 7th, save up to $140 on select sets of tires after mail-in rebate. Also, take advantage of our Winter Healthy Car Special for just $29.95. The savings won't last, so make an appointment online or visit your local Roswell Big O Tires today. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:56, about ready to wrap up today's show. If you missed any part, I always invite you to check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews and shows there. They'll have the whole show if you want to watch everything. And then if you just want to watch a particular interview, they're separated by the interview there, and you can check them out. This morning, we had Robert Sherman join us in the 7 o'clock hour from the Walker Aviation Museum and give us an update there. We replayed interviews last hour and this hour with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society and Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. So you can go back and check those interviews out now, ksvptv.com. You know what we forgot to do over the weekend, Kim? We forgot to watch that movie, Jules.
We were going to watch Oppenheimer, too.
Yeah,
we never got
didn't get
around to that either.
But Jules, we talked about on the radio.
Yeah.
I got to ask Sean if he'd seen that. Hey, Sean, you available? I don't know if you can hear me. I wonder if, because I've got to see if he's heard of this movie, because I'm oddly curious. So last week, I found a movie on Prime for free that I've never heard of, and it stars Sir Ben Kingsley. And it's called Jules, and it's E.T. meets Cocoon.
Really?
So basically, Sir Ben Kingsley is an older man, retired, living his life. Apparently, he spends a lot of time complaining about things at city council and doing these kind of... And then an alien crashes in his backyard and destroys his garden. And he ends up befriending this alien that kind of looks like a kid version of Powder. And And so the whole movie is him with the relationship with the alien, and then the authorities find out that he's got the alien, and they want the alien, and he's trying to save the alien.
Okay.
That's the movie, but it's with older people. So that's why I'm calling it E.T. meets Cocoon.
Meets Cocoon, right. It's
And a
an
splash
interesting
of powder.
concept.
Yeah.
And it's powdered
a
in.
dabble of powder, sprinkle
Except
of powder.
for he's blue.
Yeah, but it's
Instead of
kind of
white.
that whitish blue like Powder was.
Well, if he was green, he would die.
Yeah.
Rifle 65 have taught me anything. I've not heard of it. No, as soon as you said Ben Kingsley, I thought you were going to talk about something about like the King. What's that movie? I think Argyle. I think he's in that.
No, that's the only name I recognize. There might be other famous people in it, but it's his movie. It's called Jules.
Called Jules.
Jules.
Yeah. J-U. Okay, so Jules. Okay.
Jules. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I'd never heard of it.
It's on Amazon Prime.
A man's quiet life gets upended when a UFO crashes in his backyard in rural Pennsylvania as he befriends a mysterious extraterrestrial. Things start to get complicated when two neighbors discover it and the government quickly closes in.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I'd not heard of it.
But the movie, the trailer, I watched it, it doesn't feel science fiction-y. It feels like a Cocoon, or, it's more family warm. It's, it's a warm-hearted movie that has aliens in it, if that's what I think's going on.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out. It's also got Jane Curtin in it.
Oh, is Jane Curtin in it too? Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out. Yeah, I know
we got to go.
Closing in.
Yeah, just
check that out.
out of nowhere, they popped up, and I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. All right, it's 10 o'clock. Have an amazing day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
From townhall.com.